Hello, everyone. Welcome to the yearly Daniel Rustage 2024 anime tier list. This will not be edited in any shape or form. I am live streaming this right now on twitch.tv/rustage_. The first year I did this, I edited it. Took too much work. You're just going to get the pure, unedited, raw Rustage experience of him listening to his own music and then ranking it on a tier list. So if this is an hour, if this is 3 hours, if this is 50 hours, you're just going to have to deal with it. I released a lot of songs this year. There was a period in the middle of this year where I slowed down on releasing because I was away from home for like 2 months, but I did release an album before then, so we are going through the album tracks as well, and we'll be doing them chronologically. This is how it sort of works is that S tier is, you know, these are the best songs I put out the year. They're songs that I am immensely proud of, and I don't think I could change anything about them. A tier is the songs that I think are really good. B tier are often just the songs that I think I could have done something, I could have made it better in some way. I very rarely, because I don't know, inherently I won't put something else unless I'm proud of it. I very rarely have something in a C or D tier these days. If you look at my old tier list, I had plenty of stuff in there because I was a lot more shit back then. But if something is actively not as good, it will probably go in the C or D, and we'll see. Anyway, we are going to listen to them before we rank them, which is an important aspect here because I think the first few years I just ranked them. We're going to listen to them because sometimes I forget how bad/good those songs are. So we're going to start with the first release of this year, which was Kami. I really want to talk about a couple of things with Kami before we start. The reason I made Kami is because I really wanted to make a song that was similar to another song that I made in the past. I can't even remember what it was. Like Pirate King. Similar to Pirate King, where I obviously make a lot of anime-based songs based on anime characters and songs based on media characters, etc. And I also make a lot of original songs. But there's a sort of almost in-between song where I make an original song, like a non-anime song, but the title is invocative and appeals to that anime listener base, essentially. And Kami was my idea. It was a strong word that I feel like Kami means God. You know, I very much felt like people who were not fans of my personal music would still tune into it because it sort of hits the same neurons that seeing a Naruto rap would, if that makes sense. And I created this instrumental, and a lot of people have told me this, and I listen to this video, send them this clip. Yes, the trumpet sample in this is the same as the trumpet sample in Connor Price Is Up. It's also the same as the trumpet sample with a lot of other songs. It's just a sample from the website Splice, which I occasionally use, especially for brass samples, because I can't play brass, and MIDI brass sounds awful. So if you hear brass in my songs, it's usually a sample from a place like Splice or somewhere else. And we just happened to use the same spot sample. I sped it up, he slowed it down. My song did come out first, but that is irrelevant. It doesn't matter. That is why it's the same. They sound similar instrumentally, but the rest of the instrumental is different. I decided to this because I wanted this to be a live song. I decided for the hook of the song to have a kind of like house 4/4 drum beat, and then the verses of the song to have a more traditional kind of grimy rap drums. I mean, I feel like I've listened to this song so many times because I had to rehearse it to perform live, but just as a little preview for you guys. Tell me they wanna talk, but they ain't gonna harm me. Roll right through with the green wasabi. I do a big tsunami. Man, I feel like a kami. Spit so sweet, but the flow umami. They just mad that they late to the party. I do a big tsunami. Man, I feel like a kami. Yeah, don't deserve the shit in my greatness. Every track I make is so sacred. See, you see how the drums in the hook have that beat, which makes it have a higher energy for like a live chorus, whilst the verses go down in that energy a little bit and then build back up. I do want to say this. There's a couple of things in the hook that I really like. Obviously, the hook is a kind of a two-parter hook. So when it comes back after the verse, you have the main hook, and then you have the I feel like a deity, you know. I feel like a kami. Hey, this bit. Mine might be out of time with it, but that bit. And that was something new that I picked up over the course of like this year and at the end of last year, is to have the especially for rap hooks, for the rap hooks to come back and there to be a second half of the rap hook to accentuate that. And I think, who was it that I listened to? I think it was Shotgun Wiley. Is his name Shotgun Wiley, or was it Shotgun Willie? I'm not really sure. But he had a song where that's what he did for one of the hooks. And I was like, oh, yeah, that really helps with like catchiness and also changing the interest of the song as it progresses. And you can, with that in mind, you can very much tell that this kind of song is very Shotgun Willie inspired in terms of like the priority is making it catchy and upbeat rap song. Also, I am saying Kami, but a lot of people think I'm saying Komi when they listen to it for the first time, but I'm British. So if I was actually saying Komi, it would sound like I feel like a Komi. It wouldn't say I feel like a Kami, because that would be if I had an American accent. So it's just fundamentally wrong. It's like they don't listen to the rest of the verse. Because I feel like a Kami would be but I'm not American, so it could never be that. Anyway, there you go. That's all I wanted to say about this song. Oh, no, one more fun thing. When I do it live, I want people to do the hey, like with the audience, but the A, to have that sort of swing beat it's not on beat. It's not like, I feel like a kami, it's not like, I feel like a kami, I feel like a deity. It doesn't hit on the beat. It has that little of a pause to make it like swingy and catchy, but live audiences don't understand that. So this bit where it goes, I feel like a kami, hey, they don't do that. They go, I feel like a kami, hey, like they come in too soon. Get your shit together. Anyway, this song is 100% S tier. It might be one of the best songs in terms of just like solo songs I've ever made. I think it hits everything perfectly. I think a whole bunch of the songs are fun and they're uniquely rusted, because I reference people like Susie Dent, right? I say Max and Ruby, Susie Dent. These are very quintessentially rusted British lines and bars that I am referencing in this song. I really like the line, rather be overrated than you, because it's sort of, I don't know. It's tongue-in-cheek, because I realize that my popularity and fame is a little bit unwarranted comparatively to other rappers and musicians who I think are leagues better than me, and I'm very lucky to be the position that I'm in. But but it's sort of cheeky and being like, yeah, I'm overrated, but I'd rather be overrated than be unsuccessful, I guess. So it's very fun. Very fun. That's an S tier song. Now we're going to go to Vigilante Deku. I can't spend years talking about every single song. Okay. I do say losing your head like Louis in Kami, and everyone thought I was referencing my Dungeons & Dragons series, One Piece D&D, but he didn't lose his head. I'm not talking about Louis Leclerc. I'm talking about King Louis, who got executed in the French Revolution. Anyway. This song I also love. It's been a long time since I had a sort of rocky, punky sort of beat. I think the first time I ever did it successfully, I didn't even compose, made the instrumental. It was the Shinra rap, and that was Steinway Fox. Shout out. But yeah, I very rarely do that. I think Chainsaw Man was a little bit like that, because it's difficult. Mixing guitars is difficult, especially with my voice, because a lot of the frequencies in my voice blend badly with guitar, and we'll come to that later. But Kaze, what song of it? It was a Kaze song that I saw that I really liked. I don't know why I'm going, oh, yeah, he's only got like fucking 10 songs out. It would have been, at the time... Gosh, no, it wasn't even a Kaze song. It must have been a Kaze feature. There was a feature that Kaze was on that I was like, oh man, this guy's voice is incredible. It just fits the style that I want in my head. This sort of like pop punk vibe. So I hit him up and I asked him to do this track, and he was super down, which is great because I think he killed it. The original idea is that, well, in the hook, we'll go to the hook. This like na 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 na. He was originally did that as like a backing for me to rap over. We were going to have like a rapping back and forth. But I like the melody so much, and I'm a big fan of these like catchy woes and na-na-nas and yays and whatever in songs, that I was like, actually, just add more layers to that and just have that be the main focus of the second half of the hook, because I think that's incredible. And I'm really proud of how I was able to like rap over the guitars of this beat, and have this sort of moving line. Slugs till I empty the chamber, dealt with thugs and they're left with a savior. Blood the noise like I mess with the faders. I'm annoyed and they're testing my patience up the point with no X on the paper. Lost my voice, there's no breath in the vapors, cause it's hard to aim with targets on my back. But I built myself apart among the ash. A result to fight has sharpened in the cracks. This sort of right. The waste like castles in the sand, with the pain away with laughter in the past. I've been breaking grounds at the start of the collapse. Sorry, I do an even more complicated rhyme scheme there, right? I do A to R to D to A rhyme scheme. I was a big fan of how the verses built across. I do this in a couple other songs this year as well, but like I realized that sometimes when the instrumental of the verses and the energy of the verse is too similar throughout, it could become a bit boring to listen to, especially on re-listens, and you want to keep it going. And one of my favorite genres of anime rap to do is where I'm less trying to make bars and more it's more explaining the intentions and motivations of the character in interesting and unique ways. Like last year, I think I did the Light Yagami track, and it might have been the year before, where it's like you're essentially doing a villain monologue in rap. And this was more from a hero's perspective, which I don't do that often, actually, at least not nowadays. And being able to represent the mindset of Deku in the arc where he sort of goes off on his own and he puts the weight of his shoulders on himself completely, I was really proud of being able to portray in this. I like that line. We're meant to light up the night with our fire, so why do our guns come equipped with a holster? Like, if we're meant to be firing at full throttle all the time, why even bother creating a device that lets us put our guns away? But it like the ear to the ulster rhyme with Sisyphus boulder and equipped with a holster and different folders, ear to the older rhyme. I don't know, I was really proud of that little scheme. Not a chance. We put to rest by how and I think, yeah, we have Anora doing backing vocals in the final chorus as well. I like to make sure okay, welcome to the Rustage structure, because you'll hear it in a few songs this year. And it's not a Rustage structure, it's quite a common pop structure, where, and it's in this track, and I use it because I think it's good and I enjoy it, but it's where the start of the song is you hear a little bit of the, like, chorus, like, faded. Then you have verse 1. Then you have the chorus. You have the pre-chorus, which is this like softer bit where the drums come out. And then the drums come in, you have the main chorus, and then you have the post-chorus, right? And then you have verse 2. Going into the second chorus, and then that, once that finishes, you then have a bridge where it's like more pulled back, and I'm like talking. Anger is a weapon not to spurn our friends and foes alike. Can't cut us out with broken knives, rolling through each other. We are sharp and know that hope survives. I leave 100 ties to forge another. And then that's, you know, it's whatever. I'm using this opportunity to have more like direct messaging, and then it goes into a more stripped back version of the pre-chorus, where it's the pre-chorus again, but with literally like a piano and something else, and I got Kaze to record a more soft version. And then when the final chorus hits, there's usually something different about the final chorus. Either backing vocals, usually of the opposite gender if I do that to like fill out the palette. So if it's like a female vocalist, I'll get a male vocalist and vice versa. Or I will do like rapping, maybe something I did in the bridge or something else over the top to like add extra stuff to that, and maybe change something instrumentally. And that's a structure that I just enjoy listening to in songs, and I think it works. Obviously, there's a variety of structures in this that I come out this year. That's not the only structure I use, but that's what I cater the rustage pop structure, and I think I pull it off really well here. So I think Vigilante Deku is another S for this year. It's definitely a song I love to listen to more often. Let's go to the next one. Frieren. So, here's the important thing about Frieren, is most of the time, well, nowadays, I trust a lot of my vocalists. Okay, the implication of that doesn't quite work here. Nowadays, most of the vocalists like Maguire or Kaze or Jonald, they are all nerdcore artists in themselves, and they write their own music. So I get them, I say, can you write a chorus for this? And they'll write a chorus for this. And sometimes there's a back and forth where I'll be like, I don't like how this works, so you should change this, etc., etc., etc. With the Frieren track, this chorus is written entirely by me. There is a version of this track which is just me singing the chorus. And it's something I used to do a lot more, but I don't do as much anymore. And I think Issa's an incredible vocalist and could probably write a lot of her own stuff, but doesn't have as much experience with it as other people. And this was a chorus I wrote, and I approached her to say, can you sing this chorus? And I'll see, do I have like my version of Frieren? I should have had this pre-prepared, because I definitely have a because I obviously record my version and then I send it out. It would be a while ago, I think. And then Frieren, Rust's Frieren chorus reference. Here it is. I've lived through the pages, the words that were written for me. Oh shit, no, it's rough. Actually, my bad. That is not the one I wanted to show. Holy shit. Fuck, that's rough. That was rough. Sometimes my fucking references are good, but that one was rough. That wasn't good, admittedly. No. Don't worry. I sometimes have good references. You could tell this is not a mixed reference. This is just me with the instrumental on the background with like a shitty mic being like, this is what these are the lyrics, is what I wanted to sound like. Oh my god, it was rough, but I wish I didn't show that now. But regardless, I wrote the chorus, I wrote the melody. I think I had a melody reference as well. And then she did an incredible job with oh gosh. Time ticking away at our bodies, the older we get, then the shorter it seems. Time actions were better. I will say this, Frieren, absolutely adored Frieren. I read it, I didn't watch the anime, but I read it, the manga, and I just love the message of, because I just think that like the concept of different people's perception of the passage of time is really interesting to me, and I get stressed and worried about death a lot. We'll touch on that in my album, because I have a few songs about it. But like all of the messages that are told throughout Frieren, I really connected with and really enjoyed, and I really wanted to make a song that touched on that. It also has this kind of liquid drum and bass vibe, like instrumentally is really different, that I enjoy. Which I love. I think Love Coles did a really good with the video. It was quite last minute as well. Like he had to do this video in like 4 days, and I really appreciate that. And yeah. I just, oh gosh. I'm still trying to learn what love is. Mistakes and the hurt it comes with, lost their voice but kept their luggage. I like that. There's a moment in Frieren I really appreciate. This is a small minor character who's like a dwarf, I think, and he lost his wife, and I think he's like so much old, like he's forgotten like what her voice sounds like and even what she looks like, but he hasn't forgotten the feeling that they had when they were together, and he hadn't forgotten his promise to, I'm forgetting lots of bits. I'm ironically forgetting lots of bits, but like it's something like even when the memories of them fade, the feelings of them are still there. And it was such like a good moment, and it's so well written, and it's so unique. Like a lot of anime, obviously, and I think it's because I'm getting older now that I'm sort of sick of a lot of anime. It has a target audience. Like I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it's bad, but obviously a lot of anime is just, oh, I'm really strong and I want to fight this guy and blah, 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 blah. And there is nuance to that and whatever, but I really appreciate it when there's a story that is told that is unique and different to that, where it's touching on ideas that I think aren't explored as often in media, in a media that is predominantly aimed towards a younger audience as well. I like it. I like it. This song's great.
We all have a view on justice, what ways of life that we must get. It's not weak to lean on our crutches. In our flaws we learn what to trust in. We don't live our lives in a vacuum. See us through our eyes and our statues live for once before.
And again, it's a song I really enjoy listening to. The problem I have with this song is that it's one of these examples of where I think it does everything it can do, but it doesn't push the boundaries of Rustage. I don't think any of the sort of lyrics, like my schemes or my flow or whatever, are crazy. I think the chorus is good, but I don't do anything. And maybe it's a structural thing, but this is definitely a high A song for me. I think this is a high A song. I think this is also an issue where my voice gets in the way a little bit. I feel like this would have sounded better if it was not my voice and it was somebody else rapping.
Sleep through the blackness. I can't handle the damage. Blood and tears on the granite.
I just feel like common theme for me is desperately trying to get my voice to sound the way that it does, because I just don't have that typical good rapping voice, and I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's continue. Whitebeard. Okay, now. This is a song. I wanted to do a song which was like no choruses, just one long verse. The problem was that requires me to be really good at rapping, and I just don't think I pulled it off here. I don't think it's a bad song, obviously. I don't think it's a bad song.
Big white beard with a coat and the stick.
One of the issues with this song is the mix, in my opinion. Because I go for this kind of orchestral beat, and I think my voice clashes with a lot of like the bass and the cello clash, and they clash with my voice in a way that like gave me such a headache, and I just couldn't figure it out.
Big make a total eclipse. They want to speak of my name, but my name makes a scene when it spoke from their lips. Riding the waves with their boats and their ships. I'd be ashamed if I showed them the shit. Made it a habit, I broke it to bits. I'd be blowing the ocean, just loading my clips. Like, who's the topic? Hand me a plate, then I move tectonics. Say that they ate, but the food is horrid. I make it pray when the crew makes losses, lose their profits. 2-day novice, they gon' use their noggin. Headline man, but the news dishonest. Think that I care about their views and comments, cause they're in a thing they could do to stop it. Gonna hit the deck with sticking men in graveyards. Figurehead, no bigger threat away class. Disrespect for 66 or 8 bars. Silhouette and written text and trademarks. Mister with the twin.
See, my voice gets lost a little bit here. And also,
I keep the blade low, shiv him in the ribs, I'm known to make scars, tip him off the rig to scale the quick stars, fuck a king, I'm rolling with my ace card.
There's some lines in there that I think are good, but like, I couldn't think of enough good bars, to be honest, with this song. Like, I really struggle with the writing aspect. And I think it's because I've rapped about Whitebeard before, like, twice.
They're never dealing with an emperor, walking through the fire while they're burning on the embers. I've been overshot in my 10 years, teaching martial lessons, I put puppies in a blend.
I don't like this bit either. I just, you can hear my voice, like the delivery. It's so frustrating. There's so many, like, I just think, I don't know.
I was the burning on the embers. I've been overshot in my 10 years, teaching martial lessons, I put puppies in a blender. You're not a family or member. I ain't never tiny with my temper. Now I'm
You are not a family or member is supposed to be like, you're not a member of my family, but I needed it to work in the rhyme scheme of ending with an ember rhyme, but it doesn't hit, unfortunately.
stand my ground and I don't surrender. I'm about to lose my cool.
I like having the beat switch idea. I think that's a good idea here.
On the seats, watch them bend the knee. Go to war, then it's suicide. Ain't a question, ain't afraid to mention. I'm a powerhouse like a nuclei. Done with talking, then it's
and I like this bit.
Stand on business, ain't no wound behind. I got the team on the roster. Every shot I do neat like it's vodka. Set them off, they gon' scream like they toddlers.
I'm not saying it's a bad song. I think it's good. I like this bit. But there's a bit coming up I don't like.
Make them home and make them sleep in a copper. Say you know before I'm reading the office. Leave them a dancer. looking red, but their body be too anemic. I'ma leave them heated, burning like Marco Rubber in the Phoenix. I be shaking the foundation, you're crumbling from the ceiling. They be writing their obituary, brother, and gonna read it. I'm not different kind of.
I don't like, so here I was doing it, and I was like, my flow throughout most of this song is, I think, a bit too stale and slow. I should have a bit where I go a little bit faster to make it more interesting. And I think I just made the fast bit I made it less. It feels out of place. And I try and vary it up with some interesting bits with the production there as well. But I don't know.
Kind of pirate and fucking around with the weakest rock star. They can stay hush when I'm speaking. Big man, I can feel like a sea king. One piece where she's a king and a knee. Taste of the blood in my mouth. Lay them to waste.
Then I bring the orchestral drums back here.
Crumble the ground, shaking the bass of the king with a rumbling sound. Watch him wait till it sunders the clouds. Half of my face, but I'm running it down.
I think the mix here is rough as well.
King with a pain, cause I'm brushing them out. They be asking for change, but they wanted the crown. It's so big, while beer with a co in the
especially at the end here.
So big, make a toe in the clips. They want to speak of my name, but my name makes a scene when it's spoke from the lips. They never know when I quit. Written in time, they gon' know what I did. This is the ad that you don't wanna miss. Live for my crew and I die for my family. Time for the show to begin.
I don't know. It's still good. It's still good. It's still good. It's a B tier song for me, but it's but like I could see somebody listening to this and enjoying it. But I think this is a tier list of other Russ's songs. Overall music, all my songs would be D tier. I think this is still good. It's a B tier for me. I think I just would not listen to this again. If I was not a Rustage fan, I listened to this. Oh, sorry. If I was a Rustage fan and not Rustage and I listened to this, I could understand not putting this on my playlist and just like in it. Oh, I enjoyed that, but that's it. It feels almost similar to like like a cypher or a rap battle where it's like, oh, this was good, but it's not like a song I would listen to more than once. It doesn't have an interesting hook or like. These two songs I'd listen to these three songs unironically myself a whole bunch, but yeah, Whitebeard goes in B. All right, Sherlock Holmes. I'm really happy I got to do songs like Sherlock Holmes this year, and I will continue to do songs like this. I just can't remember if this was like one of the ones that won like a stream poll, if I just did it because I wanted to, but I don't know, I've been expanding to other nerdy things because I'm into a lot of stuff. I'm into tons of media and things like that, and I want to represent that with my music. It's why I got into making anime raps in the first place, is that I loved anime, so I wanted to rap about things that I enjoyed, and that included anime. Obviously, I got very lucky that there was an audience for that, but I never made anime raps because I thought that's what would make me popular, right? I just enjoyed anime and I rapped about it. And same thing with Sherlock Holmes is I enjoy quite a lot of the Sherlock Holmes short stories. I don't like A Study in Scarlet. Controversial opinion. I think The Study in Scarlet is not very good. Pounds of Baskerville is good, but I don't really like the full-length Sherlock Holmes novels. I think Agatha Christie is a lot better. And I like her stories a lot better. But the Sherlock Holmes short stories are quite fun. And other Sherlock media and stuff. And I thought, hey, it would be fun for me to do a Sherlock Holmes rap. And I like the idea as well of making raps about characters in a sort of general sense, if that makes sense. Because people will do songs about a character because there's a movie about them or there's a new TV show about them, and the character will be themed around that. I think a good example of that is like Optimus Prime is like everybody would be doing one because of the new movie, a Transformers one Optimus Prime rap, or they'd be doing like a Transformers, one of the live show Optimus Prime raps. But my intention with doing an Optimus Prime track was to make it just based on him in general, right? And it's the same with Sherlock Holmes. It's like it's not based on the BBC Sherlock. It's not based on Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock. It's not entirely based on book Sherlock. It's based on an amalgamation of Sherlock as a literary canon character in all of British culture.
Yeah, no diamonds gold that'll get me. My eyes on gold when I'm let free. No crimes unsolved when I MC up on the mic and the flows.
This is another one where it's a rusted hook, and you'll notice that I do the same thing in this that I do in Kami.
I rhyme so cold like the dead. Mine to behold when I next speak. Don't lie so bold, you ain't met me up on the mic and the flows elementary. No diamonds gold that'll get me. My eyes on gold when I'm let free. No crime unsolved.
I actually think it has the exact same structure as Kami.
MC up on the mic and the flows elementary. I rhyme so cold like the deadbeat. Mine to behold when I next speak. Don't lie so bold, you ain't met me up on the mic and the flows elementary. Consult the private detective, ain't no man could rival my methods.
One of my favorite things about this track is instrumentally, it's really interesting because it's I do a thing here similar to Kami where I have a different drum pattern for the hook than the verses to sort of break it up. And this is a 140 track. It's at a upbeat, that's like grime BPM, but the drums here aren't grime. They have like this, it's kind of breakbeat, and the hook goes even further into that breakbeat vibe, and that really adds that difference. And I think that difference is important, especially because there's, you're not getting the difference between transitioning between rap and singing. So because it's just between rap and rap, having an instrumental difference like that really helps. It really helps.
I move so hyper obsessive. Every case of crime I inspected. Watson, tell them why I'm effective. Sherlock Holmes is sly and perceptive. Every thread and line I've connected. One more tick to write on my checklist.
NMI officer, take the seat. Yeah, I really do. I think it is fun.
I'm making bigger scandals than Bohemia, leaving the yard with some vacancies. Wait and see.
I'm not going to do a breakdown analysis of every song of this tier list, obviously, because then we'd be here forever. But Sherlock Holmes fans will recognize a whole bunch of the bars and stuff I'm referencing here, which I think is interesting because, like, I have made Sherlock Holmes references in previous songs, like baseline, like just referencing the names of books, or like really what I think is common knowledge stuff about Sherlock Holmes. And I've seen like reactors and people in general just not get it. I'll reference Hounds of the Baskerville and like my Sakuna track, for example, and people just won't know what that is. And I am surprised, I guess, and it might be a thing where in England, the Sherlock Holmes like general knowledge base is stronger than it would be in America. But I can't be elitist about people having a lack of knowledge of things. It's just more that I'm surprised about that fact, because I just thought he was more well known than I guess he is in terms of that, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. People have been asking in the chat as well, and I should mention that this year is the first year that every single one of my thumbnails is done by Third PHP. Third PHP is an incredible artist, and at first I hired him to do like artistic representations of characters that you could find reasonable art of online, that, like they don't have like an anime show or something, someone like Zeus or King Arthur. But then after a while, I just thought it was a good idea to just have him do all my thumbnails. And then I have this like consistent style and theme going into the year, and I think it was really good. And he did this drawing of Sherlock Holmes that I loved. And I often said it a lot of references and stuff.
I put them to shame every case that I settle. No diamonds gold that'll get me. My eyes on gold when I'm let free. No crime unsolved when I MC up on the mic of the flows elementary.
I think the hook of this is pretty good. It's not as good as Kami, I will say that. It's hard to write a good rap hook because it's like writing a rap verse, but the intention is to make it catchy, but it's still got to be good. It's difficult. Writing a rap hook is difficult. I feel like it's easier to write like a singing chorus because you inherently have melody to play with in terms of making something catchy. Trying to make something catchy with no melody is hard. And I think I did it successfully with Kami. I think Elementary is not as good. But I do the thing I do in Kami where I have a second half of the rap hook, which comes in a second. Like a burn of phone. Talk with me, I gon' work from home. Write one down for me, Watson. They don't match with no Sherlock Holmes. Come with me with their dirty clothes. Culprit crime, I'm the first to know. Pen one line for me, Watson. There's no brain like the Sherlock Holmes. I can tell the way that you think from the stain. So I think that's fun. I think it's fun. And at the start of the second verse, I really like my delivery here. Sherlock Holmes. I can tell the way that you think from the stain on your wrist that you made when your ink looking lame, when you limp at the shave, when your chin ain't taking a risk. When I say that you think air on the strings when I play out the riff. It's the thing about this and what makes this sound better. It's an A to the I rhyme, which is relatively simple rhyme scheme. You'll notice, listen to all of my songs from the last few years. I never do a singular syllable rhyme, right? Everything is minimum 2 syllables. I think 2 syllables is when it's simple. And this is an A to the I rhyme, which is simple. But I'm sort of self-imposing like a side chain into my voice because I'm like slightly ducking on beat. Having these little pauses give it this pulsating flow and makes it sound, I don't know, it makes it sound cooler. Because
I can tell the way that you think from the stain on your wrist that you made with your ink.
Because if I just did that normal, like, I could tell the way that you think from the stain on your ink with a babe when it seems that a kid, it would be fine, but it just doesn't have that, having that stress at the start of each of them. It's kind of like a tug and release, like a which helps. It's a bounce. It's cool. It's hard to describe these things, but it's cool. Sherlock Holmes is good. I think it's very fun. I think the lyrics are good. I like the fact that I go back and forth as Watson here. Again, it's similar to Frieren, where it doesn't have anything special, and it's sort of like Kami, but doesn't have the same special juices as Kami. So it's another A tier song, I think. All right, let's go, Alastor. God, I'm taking a long time to talk about these songs. This will be a long stream. I am only 5 songs in, and it's already been half an hour. Sorry, guys. Now, I wasn't originally going to do an Alastor track, because I have a problem where I'm so... It's not that I'm slow, but it's because I have to do a lot of stuff in advance. I travel a lot. 2024, I traveled so much. And when I travel, I still upload the same amount, but it means I have to work harder before I go. So I upload a song every other week, and if I'm going to be away for a week or two, then I have to make a song in advance to make sure it goes up whilst I'm gone, or, you know, goes up when I get back, that sort of vibe, because I also have to give editors about 2 weeks to edit the video as well. And the whole Has Been Hotel sort of wave was happening whilst I already had a plan of songs. Like, I was doing Sherlock fucking Holmes. I was doing a bunch of other stuff. Like, I had a bunch of these ideas, like, and I think I apologized on Twitter. I was like, I don't think I'll be able to make a Has Been a Hotel song, because by the time I have time to put one together, it will be like 3-4 months from now, and it just will be too late, I think. But then I thought, well, I guess I have today and tomorrow before I leave to wherever I'm going. I could do one really quickly. Who do I know that could work really quickly? So I messaged Maguire and I said, can you get me a chorus by tonight? And he said, yes. So I made this instrumental and I sent it off to him, and he got me the stuff back, and I recorded it in 2 days, and it's my best performing song of this year. And I think the reason why is because I capture Alastor perfectly here musically, because what this is it's 120 BPM. It's that electro swing vibe, but importantly, it's still... I bashed my head a long time to try and make an instrumental for this, because you want to do an electro swing vibe, so you think, oh, I should take some swing songs and like speed them up and then add drums and do that sort of thing. But then a lot of the times those instrumentals suffer when you're trying to make something catchy. So what I did instead is I just played keys in just like a generic like ba sort of pattern. I'll find a better life, just give the hand a shake. I don't know if it's exactly 120, it might be a little bit more like 124 or something. And the electro swing vibe doesn't come from the highs of the song. It does a little bit from like horns, but it comes from the lows. The bass line is like a more swingy bass line, and that's what creates that effect. But it keeps the catchy pop chords of the higher end of the keys, so that when Maguire sings, it's catchy and not just meandering, I guess. I don't know. It has a mass appeal. You hate me, get in line. We're braced for better times. Just keep your head up high and get up out my way.
Mic's on 1-2 and the check's done. Showtime and no need for a test run. New coat, new stains, it's a fresh blood. Birds of a flock, they go mad for the breadcrumbs.
And then I have a horn sample here.
Poisons poured till we get drunk. Gone learn where the chains on our neck from. Bring the bloodshed back like it's red rum. Radio static, that's a tune that the dead hum.
I think my lyrics are really good in this song. I think my lyrics, by and large, have been getting a lot better recently. I still will have some duds. Obviously, it's really hard to write lyrics consistently, but this,
You're loving me, tuning into my messages, phasing them out the double speak. Misremember the etiquette, dealing souls like it's currency. I'm removing the messages, listening to the summaries, and learning who the devil is. You don't wanna bet on it, leaving husband into the home inside is devil. Turn another volume so the sound you hear is deafening. Knock, when you hear him, then you let him in. Hide another skeleton, my closet's getting large. Listen to the audience.
I do the thing with my voice here I think, again, this is another example of the instrumental progresses throughout it, building up to the chorus, but also I'm doing a lot more interesting things with the verse, and it's not just rap lyrics. It's trying to keep your attention. And I have the back end of it going, la, chow, and I'm doing... I don't know, I'm just doing a lot. I have the knock, knock, knock bits. I have the bit where I've done the effects to make my voice go radio static. The mixing in this is a lot better than Whitebeard. I really like it. My main vocals regular, but the side vocals have a bit crusher on them and also a little bit of distortion to add to the effect, but it's only on the side vocals, it's not on the main vocals. To your masters, question my role and then gave them the answer. They're not the snakes that I'm after. Broadcast the hell and then ask them to rate the disaster. And they have the ticking of the clock and stuff as well. What's interesting here is that in the structure of this song, the start of this is the pre-chorus. This is actually not the main chorus, and I made him do the pre-chorus at the start of the song as opposed to the main chorus because, again, similar to Kami, I've gone for this. I've switched up the drums for the main hook. I have this side-chained house electro swing drums to have more impact, and so I had his chorus that goes over the top of that suits that more, and so I didn't want that in the intro. So. Just keep your head up high and get up out my way. They all wanna hear your pain. Broadcasting stereo haze. Right out if you're getting no flame. Turn the volume up. Is it really just flames? Right now it's a city of stains. I have a sample there that's like an old singer, like a swing singer that I've just pitched up an octave to have in the background there that I really like as well. And Haruko does a really good job with the video. I worked with a lot of really good video editors this year. My waves gonna carry the tune best. So scared they having to choose death. Can't make a change, no cracking a few heads. Red and black, I leave it like roulette. I was pleasantly surprised with Husband Hotel as well. So I obviously watched it right before I made this song. And if I didn't like it, I probably wouldn't have made the song. I did like it. There were aspects of it. Obviously, Husband Hotel is one of those shows where it's a adult cartoon, but the target demographic is children. Do you know what I mean? But those shows are really popular because it's got adult themes, it's an adult cartoon, it's whatever, but like the humor is for children. The humor and the characters and the writing is very childish. But it's not inherently bad because of that. And those things tend to be really popular because I think anime falls into that category a lot as well. I feel like at least a lot of like shonen anime where it's like they deal with a lot of adult, Naruto, people are killing each other. That's very adult and mature, but the writing and the humor is still quite young and juvenile. And what that means is teenagers fucking love it because it's got all the cool stuff, the cool adult stuff that teenagers love, but also it's not too like morally complex that bores them. So it's like, this is fun. And I think that's great. I think it knocks it out of the park in that regards. And you see people criticizing the writing of Husband Hotel, and it's like, yeah, that's fair, but I think it achieved exactly what it's successful for a reason. It achieved exactly what it wants to do. But yeah. And yeah, I feel like a lot of that. I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. It's not like I think it's fine. I enjoyed it. I did like that there were songs. I liked a lot of the songs in the show. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. It doesn't. But I also realized I'm not the target demographic for Husband Hotel anymore. You know what I mean? I'm a bag of Devon and new threads. I got ghost every note like what will he do next? I'ma make him shake like a tremolo. Put him in the grave by the second note. Do it every day, every episode. Keep on going up like a shepherd's tone. Have him moving motor when I set the tone. That's the one thing that will always bug me in this song is I didn't realize this when I was writing. I literally said the word tone right twice. It's because in my head shepherd's tone and then the word tone itself was too different. Set the tone, shepherd's tone. But like the fact that I say tone and then immediately rhyme it with tone, I didn't realize I did that. Genuinely, the song came out, and it wasn't until like weeks later that I realized that I say tone twice. That's my only issue with this song, is I say tone twice, and that is gonna bug me until I die. They all wanna hear your pain. Broadcasting stereo And then we obviously have Maguire at the end. So this doesn't follow the traditional Rush's structure with the bridge and the final chorus, but I still think it, you know, for a song that has essentially verse, chorus, like very simple structure. First verse being slightly longer than the second verse, and the second chorus being slightly longer than the first chorus, because it has this end post-chorus where you skip it. I think it works really well. I think this is an S-tier song, because I can't really think of anything wrong with it, and I think it achieves everything. It was wildly successful. I think it's good. It's not as good as these other two, in my opinion, in terms of my own enjoyment of it, but it also does really well live. It's low S. I'm going to put it there. All right, Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. Leaving them hating, look what I'm making. I've been amazing. Fuck what they're saying, I keep it playing. I've been in training.
I like the hook of this song. I've seen a couple people who didn't. I really like the hook of this song. It's one of my favorite rap hooks of the year. And this is a personal preference thing. And I wrote this hook because I was like, this would be so sick live. I like the idea of having the hook start before the beat comes in. So it goes Super Saiyan, and the Saiyan hits on beat. It's very much like Billie Eilish, where he goes Billie Eilish, and then it hits on beat.
Ain't gonna stop till I've been on top. I'm not a man no more, I'm a god. Don't care if they like me or not. Super Saiyan.
And this falls into the same category as Kami. Again, I was experimenting with this a lot this year, where I wanted to do songs that were not like strictly about a specific character, but just more generalistic in terms of that. So I did that with Avatar, Kami, and Super Saiyan. Kami was really the only one that people really gelled with, it seemed like, in terms of response, but it's not going to stop me. Next year, I'm planning on doing a song called Shadow Clone, which is going to be of a similar vibe that I think will be good. Because it's like, I want to do more Naruto-based content, but I've rapped about every single Naruto character. There's literally nothing else I can do. But I would like to do a kind of Naruto-themed thing like Super Saiyan, where I just reference Naruto in general. And I think Shadow Clone will be fun. So this is a song I also did because I wanted to get Pure Juice. He's one of the leaders in the sort of anime drill scene. He's got a great voice for rap. He's really good at nailing his style. I think stylistically, me and Pure Juice are very different, right? I think if you're a fan of my music, you might not particularly be a fan of his, and if you're a fan of his music, you might not particularly be a fan of mine, because he has an incredible voice for rap. He has this great style with the way that he raps, but like lyrically and like in terms of the structure of, it's not as like in depth as my stuff, especially like structurally as a song. You know, he doesn't have, I do a lot of pop rap, right? Where I have these choruses, I have the song structured. A lot of the time I'm rapping quite profound about these characters, whilst he's got a drill beat that he's commissioned and he is just rapping about how badass the guy is, which I think is great, and I think he's doing really well for himself because of that. But it's not personally what I am trying to do with my music, if that makes sense. And so, and I think that's good. I feel like it's important for there to be lots of musicians that have different approaches and styles to the way that they write. I think, for example, I really like how Fable has gone more, he's leaned away from doing more bar-focused rap stuff, and he's gone really heavy into his sort of nu metal rock sound, and I think he's incredible. He's just so fucking good at doing that. And I think having that variety in the nerdcore space especially is great. But I can't remember who hit each other up first, but we definitely weren't like mutuals on Twitter, and we talked for a little bit, and we said we should do a song together. And I said, I'll record, you could do this. You can have a little verse space in the song that I'm working on. I think people will enjoy it. It's like a general Super Saiyan track, so it will work. It's easy to write. So I sent him the verse bit, and then he tells me, I can't get to it. He doesn't record at home like I do. He has to rent out a studio. And I said, you don't have to rent out a studio. We both live in London. So it's like, just come around to mine. You can record with my setup. So he drives to my house, which at first is interesting because we live in London. It's just easier to take a train. But he drives to my house. He rocks up in this big car that he's obviously very recently bought. It's very, very nice looking car. He complains that it took him like an hour to get there. I was like, yes, it wouldn't have taken you an hour to get here if you took the train. He comes into my little place and he sits down. He goes, okay, I haven't finished writing my verse. I say, okay, great. So he shows me his lyrics and he starts recording his bit of the verse. And I think it's cool. The frustrating thing about Pure Juice is that he just does it one take and it sounds amazing. I'm like crying because I'm doing multiple takes trying to get this to sound good. But he's up there, he's standing in this little box room. I'm here doing the engineering. And he just goes, need me a hyperbolic chamber. And he just does it. He just does it. But yeah, he records this on my setup.
Labels talking about signing me, offering 120 must be kidding me. Call me Kaioken, I need times 10, I came a long way from a yearly salary. Pockets on margin, boo, can't body shame me, I like running up calories. They don't really want beef, they're Vegetas, I'm talking about chewing on celery.
Right. So he does do an A-to-E rhyme that then transitions to an E-to-E. And by say transitions, I think he just forgets that he's doing an A-to-E rhyme. And I did bring this up to him when he showed me the lyrics. I was like, oh, you're doing this calorie, what is it? Gravity calorie bar, and then you finish it with celery, which doesn't quite rhyme because you're just rhyming the E part at the end. And he goes, oh, I didn't know that, but you know, I don't really think about rhymes. I'm like, okay, cool. You do you. We have a little bit of like a creative, like, you know what? People love the way that you sound. I'm the idiot. So he does it, and what happens afterwards is that because he hasn't written the second half of his verse, he then says, how about we do a bit where we rap back and forth? It's kind of like we're fusing. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I've done this, but it's not what I expected, but I've done this before. I'm happy with doing that. And we...
up like sesame.
Bro fused, he matching my energy.
Do it 100, Jeopardy.
A friend of a ops, my enemy.
Top 5, top 1, you're a better be.
I said I'm top 4, bear -3.
Out back.
And I think I wrote all of this except for the one line that doesn't rhyme, which is the -3 line. Because it's the E-to-E, and then he does the I-to-E rhyme. But he was so adamant to keeping that line in, and then we do it. But there you go. That's how it was written. And we recorded it. We did both of them back and forth. It's great. He's such a lovely guy. I appreciated him being here. And I think the funniest thing to me is as he left, he said, I think we're just talking about business stuff. And he's like, because he's obviously just recently got success from all of his music stuff. And he's just bought a car. He's doing all that sort of stuff. And he's talking to me about accountants. And I'm like, yeah, I was telling him what sort of accountants I use that help with all of this stuff. And he goes, yeah, I need to get some accountants. I've not ever really paid taxes before. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. How long have you been making money for? And he's like, oh yeah, like 2 or 3 years. Bro! Pay your taxes! I'm sure he's got that all sorted out now. I'm like, brother. Okay. Anyway, he's great. And this song was fun.
I've been amazing.
This song is very similar to Sherlock Holmes for me. I'm just going to put it in A. I think it's one of my underrated songs because it didn't perform as well as I hoped it would. But yeah, the song is great. And you can tell, like, people like Pure Juice's bit. It's the bit here that's the most replayed. So it's like, no matter how much I'm putting into doing all my rhyme schemes and my flows or whatever, I think ultimately he knows what he's doing. And he has a great voice for it. He's got a natural delivery for it. The way that he flows is so seamless and engaging. And he's great. And yeah, check out Pure Juice if you haven't. I think he does good work. All right. Let's move on to my next song. All right. Until the end. So, I wanted to make a track about Yuji Itadori. So I read a bunch more Jujutsu Kaisen. I really got into the character, and something happened. It's the same thing that happened to me when I was like reading a whole bunch of Bleach and trying to get into stuff. Is that I realized, oh, Itadori he's this tragic, selfless hero. he is this character that's really interesting, and he's not your typical shonen cocky protagonist. He's resigned to death to protect those because he doesn't care about his own well-being. And I'm like, I'm going to have to make a slower, sadder song for this guy. And when I had that thought, I'm like, immediately knowing that it's not going to perform as well as it could do if I didn't do this angle. But I also know that I would be disingenuous not for me to go with this angle, because I always want to make a song that represents the character in the way that I think works the best for them musically, if that makes sense. And Lorien was another artist that I found that I really enjoyed their work. I thought their voice was good. They are an artist that writes really profound and interesting stuff. And I approached them with the idea of this, and I showed them the instrumental. Here's the really interesting thing. This is the exact same BPM as the Alastor track, and has a very similar drum pattern to the Alastor track. It has that, like, fall to the floor drum. But because instrumentally and vocally it's very different, it has a completely opposite feeling to the Alastor track, which I think is fun. And yeah, I really think she did a really good job here. I think, and it's also, usually what I do is if I have a male character, I will get a male vocalist. And if I have a female character, I'll get a female vocalist. I don't know. It's just kind of a theme I do. But this was the first time in a long time where it's a male character, but I got a female vocalist. I don't think I count Yuta because because Hala in that's supposed to represent Rika. I think it might have been like Joestar, like that long ago. But I really went for the pop rap here.
I don't need a purpose or meaning, I'm just a cog inside a system to the day I stop breathing. Cause when you stop and take a listen, there's no breaking the screaming. And when the bodies keep on falling, there's no way I'm retreating. Cause when they're dead, we can hear the pounding and pleading with every head. I can make amends with my demons until the end.
Yeah, I one of my favorite things about rap is that you can, it's just an instrument, right? You can rap over anything instrumentally. And I think what I like about this song is it has that slow instrumental, but the drums have this sort of, the drum pattern I really like. And I don't know what my point is. I like rapping over a variety of different instrumental and feels. And I try to do that a lot this year.
Just another rat to keep feeding. We keep on bandaging our bodies, but we can't stop the bleeding. I don't mean to tempt fate. Feel I'm only dead weight. Better fangs of walls, but with tools and a death game. Readjust my headspace. Man is made of flesh. They say I'm just a pawn, but this pawn gets the check.
I'm sort of rapping to the same rhythm as the drums, because the drums do this like, and I'm sort of rapping there.
See another me in the pools and the red stains. I can hardly breathe when I'm pulled to the edge. They falling on the streets and they crawl through the depths. Make puddles out of meat that are call in the next day. They say I'm used to danger. How we all change when we screw with nature. Watching their face for their true behavior. Put a bullet in my body, make them choose the chamber.
They say I'm just a pawn, but this pawn can still checkmate is one of my favorite lyrics of the year. Thank you. I was really proud of that. I did that whole rhyme scheme to build up to it.
And your faith when you're coasting through life, you get lost in the waves. No, I don't want to die, but that's not gonna change way I walk off the line like a moth to a flame. Got it bottled away, locked into place, stuck. Rot in the grave, not gonna wake up. Shot in the face, wanted to taste blood. I got clots in my veins, knots in my brain. Stop with the flips of the.
That's my favorite bit of the song. That's my favorite bit of the song is where it cuts out and like the run-on verse goes to the second bit. I
can never land even. Give me a choice, then regretting my reasons. Sift through the noise and deliver my grievance. Built to destroy, but can sever my freedoms. You could chase a day or the season. I won't ever sway in allegiance.
Yeah, I really
like
it.
Never break or be weakened. Look into my face, I'm a beacon. I am not the monster that lays in the deep.
That is a bit of a clumsy final line, I will admit. I'm not the monster that lays in the deep end, but I say deepened because I need to have that like weakened line. That sort of epened, fecund, seepened, that sort of. So I do say deep end wrong, and that's a little bit annoying. Sometimes it's hard, right? Writing lyrics is hard. Backing vocals on this. No.
Never once cared for my own life. Keep fighting till I drop, or we both die. Hearts on the sleeve.
So this is following the same structure as Vigilante Deku. Where the final chorus then brings in Maguire, I think. I forgot to put Maguire in the credits, but he's here. I'll try to make it alright. I'll try to make a change until the end. And I love this bit. Yeah, I really like that. And you know, I obviously told Lorian to have to do like an ending thing, like a post-chorus for the end, you know, similar to Alastor or something, where you have this end bit to make it different and change it up. And I think it's such a fun, powerful ending. Before I went into this, I was gonna put it in A, but I think it's a low S song. I really like it. I really like it. Out of time. So this song's so fun. So I asked Longest Solo Ever to do an Adam song with me because I want it to have this rocky, power chord vibe to it. And I know that he was good at that, and I wanted to work together with him for this. And so we start doing it, we start working on it together, and then DPS announces that he's releasing an Adam song featuring Longest Solo Ever. So I do want to state for the record that I started working on this song before I knew that DPS and Longest Solo Ever were putting together an Adam song together, and he didn't inform me. He didn't say, yes, but just so you know, I'm also doing the exact same thing with DPS. So Longest Solo Ever did the instrumentals and production for 2 different Adam tracks. Now, this song might have been the most fun for me to write. I don't know if it's my favorite song of the year because of that. Like, I think my verses aren't as great as some of the other stuff I've done, but it was very fun. I am not, for anybody who knows me, I'm not the sort of person who makes like very sexually charged lyrics and bars. It makes me uncomfortable. I'm not very good at that. It's not the sort of person I am, but I really thought it would be fun because Adam is, his character is that he's like a sex pest. He's so egotistical, and he gets everything that he wants, that he throws his weight around and is vulgar because nobody puts him in his place. And I really wanted to be able to combine those religious bars with just sexy, gross sex bars. But I do think my voice just doesn't sound great on this track. And that's not like a mixing issue. It's just, I just don't think I fit this kind of song. Like, if these were the same lyrics, but you had another vocalist, it just would be so much better.
Cut a wave like a Vox with a TV. When the sex bangs, then I'm out like it's GG. Fucking with the son of God, I ain't Jesus. Cut into the chorus, rotting like snake eaters. Got him in the door, they knocking for gatekeepers. Bitch up in heaven, she's stuck in my St. Peter. Bitch up in heaven, she's stuck in my St. Peter might have been the first line I wrote for this song, which is very funny. I just, that's like what made me do it. How the fuck are you British? What do you mean, how the fuck am I British? Have you not listened to any of my music? Her nose like hay fever. Blinded with my talent, they looking for faith healers. Bitches in my posse, I run with insane features. Leave a star more than I'm sick of these daydreamers. So this is another chorus. Anytime I work with Jonathan Young, he's a very busy guy. He does a lot of work. And the only way I could get him to sing on a song of mine is if I write it, because then he doesn't have to do as much work, which is fine by me. So this is another chorus of mine that I wrote and that he simply sung. And I have my version of it, but my Windows file manager is like crashing on me, so I can't actually show you right now. I am so sorry. But it is here. I can see it. I might be able to get it up on Dropbox, I think.
But yeah, so I I put this song together, and no, I'm not gonna be able to get it off in Dropbox. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't share it. I can't share it. But the only thing that's working right now is Google Chrome. Actually, I can't even. Holy shit! I can't even select OBS. Oh, that is a concern, because that means I won't be able to stop recording when this is over, which means this file is going to be corrupted. Oh no! So I'm gonna have to download the stream VOD for this one, boys and girls. Holy shit, that's rough. Okay, well, we're just gonna do the rest of the video. The stream's still working, so that's important. And I can still read your stuff, but. So if you're watching this on YouTube and it's lower quality than you expect, that is the reason why. Jonathan Young did such a good job with the chorus on this, because I obviously recorded it, but I don't have that same grit, and he really put his whole Jonathan Young-gussy into that to be able to pull this track forwards. The other thing that I did is I did in Has Been Hotel, Adam has a song which is the one that he sings to Charlie near the start, where, oh gosh, I can't even remember how it goes because it's been so long. But there's a part of that song where all the instruments cut out, and it's just like a kick and a clap and a kick and a clap. It's Hell and Forever, that's it. Hell and Forever, da, 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 da. And I wanted to replicate that with the final chorus of this, where I have the Jonathan Young sing the chorus again. It's just the same vocals, but I just take out all of the instrumental, and I told Longest Solo to take out all the instrumental, and just have like a kick and a clap going off in the background. This is actually Andrea Storm Caden and Honora doing the backing vocals here to really beef it out. And then obviously there's a woe. And we have this like post-chorus woe, similar to Alastor or Itadori, where we have this like post-chorus thing. I don't think the post-chorus woe here is as good, like the melody. I wrote it, and I didn't think I did that good of a job. And it was also very last minute, because it was like, I just, I need to have something at the end. I wrote it, sent it to Jonathan. He sent me something back quite quickly, and I don't think, in general, I don't think that hit at the end as like something like Wukong did or whatever. And on top of that, with that me and the way that I sound on this, I think this song, despite being really good in my opinion, I don't think it can be any higher than an A. But there's fun lines. I think I say something about like, I don't want them to blow like I'm a cock ring, which is just gross. They just got wings. You may be wearing the crown, but you're not king. Even wood if it's wood up inside a coffin. And I'll fucking murder your family and your offspring. How you letting anyone blow up like it's a cock ring? Yeah. How fun. A tier. Oh yeah. Ayanokoji time. So Ayanokoji is one of my most requested anime characters, and I hadn't done an anime song in a little bit actually, like just of an anime character. Oh, sorry, I did Itadori, I guess. But I had this sort of run of Adam, Super Saiyan, Alastor, Sherlock Holmes, and Itadori. I had done Jujutsu Kaisen, hadn't done a new anime character in a little while, and I thought, well, you know what? With Konosuba and Ayanokoji, I wanted to do a little break where I was like, time to do some like modern anime that people have been suggesting for a while. And Ayanokoji was very high up. So I was like, oh, it's an anime. oh, it's based on a light novel. Let's read the light novel. So, I bought the light novel, and bro, this shit's ass. I didn't get very far, to be fair, but like it opened rough, man. It opened rough. Let me read you like the first chapter. Well, it's the second chapter, but it's like the opening chapter to Ayanokoji's thought process. Ayanokoji-kun, do you have a moment? She came. She was here. It was terrifying. I'd been feigning sleep during class, pondering society's true purpose while I pretended to nap. When the devil approached me, Shostakovich's Symphony No. 11 played in my head. Music that captured the sense of people fleeing from pursuing demons and the desperation that came at the end of the world. Right then, it was the perfect accompaniment. My computer-like brain instantly executed all the calculations to arrive at the answer I most needed. It's rough, man. It's rough. And the thing is, the anime is a lot better because you don't hear Ayanokoji's internal monologue. That's the important thing. When you've got an annoying Reddit r/I am very smart character like Ayanokoji, he will be unlikable if you hear his inner monologue like this. Because it's obviously written by some guy who's just... But in the anime, you don't hear any of this. And he just seems like an aloof, intelligent guy. And you can project your own thought patterns to him. So that when he does, like... When his actions are smart and he does smart things, it's, like, more engaging and interesting. So the anime is definitely, from my opinion of reading the first volume of the light novel versus watching the first season of the anime does a better job. And most people's perspective of the character is the anime, and I get that. The anime is fine. It's interesting. Like, there are moments that are fun. A lot of the times, the best parts of the anime are when things sort of all come to a close. Ayanokoji is a villain. Essentially, he's not a good guy. There's like this whole scene, I don't know if it's in the first season or like the second season, where he's like girl boss gaslight. I'm not going to say girl boss, just gaslighting someone by like forcing them to go through trauma so that they become more dependent on him and like stalk him, which is interesting. I think it's quite extreme, and I think that works well. My worry is a lot of people idolize Ayanokoji. Like, they want to be like, I want to be just like him and as smart as him. Bro is a psychopath. Bro is a villain. He is a villain. But that's the sort of character that is very fun to write about. And so I watched all three. Genuinely, I watched all three seasons of Classroom of the Elite. And I made the song, and I approached Dizzy 8. I was like, Dizzy 8, I haven't had you on a chorus for a while. Would you like to do a chorus for Ayanokoji? Because I made this beat first, this like slower, sort of like in sinister beat, and I was like, Dizzy 8's voice fits this perfectly. And lo and behold, he responds and he says, oh yeah, I love that show. And I was like, that makes sense. And so not only did he want to do the chorus, he wanted to do a verse as well, and I guess I wasn't going to stop him. But then there becomes a little bit of a worry, where if I just do the first verse, and he does the chorus and the second verse, then, it's not my song anymore. Yeah, I produced it, but, like, it's mostly his vocals. So, to get around that, I decided that his second verse would be slightly shorter than my first verse, and that the second half of the chorus would be back and forth between me and Dizzy. And then it felt more like it was us together, as opposed to just mostly Dizzy 8.
Bitch, I did it better. Written to the letter, leave him in a prisoner's dilemma. Diplomatic pressure, D-to-A, we sin and stick together. Hidden our agenda, shift the stone, they symptoms of the weather. Picking at the errors, just another villain for the next week. Thinking they can best me. Wanna play the game, but they are simply just a chess piece. Fit in with the dead piece.
It's quite hard for me to write rap to this kind of slower BPM sometimes, because I want to have interesting flows and stuff, especially because my voice can't really carry it. And I struggled a lot with writing this rap. I thought it would be easier than it was, but I struggled a lot. I did it, get it better, get it better, but it was quite good. It was fun. I think it was fine in the end.
You were never on my level now. you are not like me.
No, you're not like me.
Now you're playing with the devil now. You are not on my team.
Not like me.
Hey, you were never on my level now. You are not like
But yeah, the intention of this song was definitely more the vibes.
Learn how to spot at the top is mine. I wasn't sharing how I move. I go over your head just like a Karen. Look, you not like and don't like me. They can sweep, mess around, come and see. Clean them up, it's a sweep. I've always been the type to always keep it low key. But if that boy on my spot, then it's up. Get that boy on my seat. Cardio up.
Yeah, it's good.
See war, I'ma lead the machine.
Oh yeah, and I have a second verse here as well to lead off his thing as well.
Peace talks, they concede and defeat. They don't even see war, I'ma lead the machine. Leaving the scene scores, they can read them and weave. They can't even keep score, I don't like you. Run it like a tycoon. Means you keep the stick, but it be slanting like your rhymes do. How your points of money gonna be lower than your IQ.
How are your points of money gonna be lower than your IQ?
Put the walls around me like I'm back inside the white room.
You don't know.
Do I do anything interesting in the final chorus? I don't think so.
You until the dust.
It's a pretty bog standard Rustage track. I like it. I think it's a low A song though. It's a yeah. It doesn't have a wow factor to me. I think this is purely from a taste perspective that, like, personally, I would rather listen to songs like Kami and Frieren and Vigilante Deku and that sort of stuff than a song like that. But I think this song appeals to a lot of people, and it did quite well. I think people enjoyed it, so I was very happy with that. All right, let's move on to Afterlife Party.
Party in the afterlife, I hope you show up. Was on my way down, then I had to go up. So throw your hands up in the air, wave them high. So new life get better when you die. Whoa, it's a party in the afterlife. Whoa, raise your glass and fill it every night. Whoa, it's a party in the afterlife.
Gonna go all night like
Wanna be the one to stop the vibe.
maybe dead, but I feel alive.
Right, so, okay. Konosuba, I read the, what did I... Oh, gosh. I think I read the light novel for Konosuba as well. No, I can't remember what I did. I definitely watched the anime. But I also read the light novel. I think I did a bit of both. Because the thing is, I'm sort of a guy that likes to read the source material of things, because I feel like that's the author's original intention with it. And Konosuba I enjoyed. I thought it was good. It was fun. It had a fun. And the light novel was definitely better than Classroom of the Elite. I think I read like 3 volumes of it. Again, it's I don't think I'm quite the target demographic for it anymore as well, because some of the humor didn't work for me. But when it's very much, you know, it's a comedy isekai. It's supposed to be fun. So when I wanted to make the song for it, I was like, I've got to do like a fun, upbeat song for Konosuba. And Postcard PVF, has done, like, I knew he was a guy that could do like fun, poppy, upbeat. He did my Boruto track, which I think was quite poppy. He has quite a poppy voice, and so I hit him up to be able to do this track. And I think he did a good job with it. I think the biggest issue I have with this song is a mixing issue. And again, a lot of you guys are not going to pick up on this, but there's just something... I don't know, there's just something about the drums not melding quite the way I wanted them to with the rest of the instrumental. It feels almost like I've crammed 2 different songs together a little bit in places.
Hard to argue, blade on hand like it's Chanchamari. Crimson Clan, I don't need the bath, I've got a mana drain like the magic cards blue. Yon, how they gonna act like...
And there's that low end when the kicks hit that doesn't work with my voice so much, but...
Up with the sky, life gets better, man, when you die.
But I'm glad really people vibed with it. I think I love this is the type of song that I really like, right? I can kind of hear now that you mentioned it, yeah. And maybe it's just because I thought of it one day and now it can't get in my head. This will probably be another A song for me, because I do think a lot of my lyrics in the verses are really fun.
My skill points spent on my bag of tricks. I'm a wonder of nature like Cackle did. And they all want to step in the ring with me, but like darkness, dude, just a masochist. Hey, this ain't a fable. Say she a goddess, but sat on my table, yeah. Hey, guess I'm an angel. Live like a king, but I slept in a stable, yeah. Hey, ain't got a label. You move with curses that can't be dispelled or disabled. Don't wanna...
And also, I want to say this. I want to give Kazuma... I want to give credit to this guy, Lord Daedrith. that part of the reason I want to do this upbeat track is partially inspired by this Kazuma rap. I think it was from a Konosuba abridged series that I remember listening like 6 years ago and really enjoying.
What? All across the land, all I wanna do is slay. Getting cred for my skills, swooning honeys every day. Aragorn to the drawers, line of leather kicks. Got that Jon Snow swag, and I'm stupid dumb sick. With a group of fine.
I don't know if you've heard this. I hope I don't get copyright on this video because of this one thing I'm listening to. But I remember really enjoying this when I was younger.
Like a superhero pimp, power level off the scale, I'm Bubba Gumping y'all shrimps. You keep talking about you got it, I'm the upper.
It's this sort of like fun pop rap that I enjoyed.
Call me Billy Bob, I played your ass like a band.
He also has a way better voice for rap than I do.
I done more that you ever think. I'm a power gamer, the pro twin, and if you push me to the brink, hit you with everything and along the way. Then find her, grind won't stop. Muscle through like Arnie, then I pop my collar top tier tag blaze, fastest hands in the ace. If I want it, bet I got it. If I don't bet, all I gotta do is smoke, rip it. Dirty little mistakes, ball until we kick.
I thought it was like it's a fun hook as well, fun rap hook. But yeah, cool. And so I wanted that same pop rap vibe for me. It's also the reason I didn't do a Konosuba rap until now, is but like back in like 2019, 2020, I've been getting Konosuba requests for ages, and I didn't do it back in the day because I just felt like at that time, I couldn't do one that was better than this. I feel like now I'm a lot better, and I'm very proud of my song, and it is very. I think I've done a really good job here, and yeah, A tier. Let's go, next one. So Demon Slayer. I feel like every time there's a season of Demon Slayer, there is a highlight Hashira that it's about. And you had Rengoku with the movie, and then you had Flashy Guy for season 2, and then for the Swordsman of the Mist season, it was this guy Muchiro. He was at least one of them. Tengen, that's the name of the guy. And I enjoyed this season a lot more than I did the previous season. I still have my issues with Demon Slayer, mostly. I have the controversial opinion that I don't like the animation in Demon Slayer, because it's not like it's well animated in terms of choreography. It's just flashy effects that sort of are like, whoa, look at these flashy effects, and that's really cool, which is good in sort of moderation, but like when you break it down to the actual animation choreography, it's not as engaging as something like Jujutsu Kaisen or Dragon Ball's, like the Dragon Ball movies and stuff, and like Naruto as well, and Naruto has good choreography and other stuff. I feel like and this is my worry with One Piece. Everybody's saying like, oh, the animation's so great in One Piece now, and it's kind of like, well, is it? It's just more flashy, and there's more frames, and it's cool, but it still has the same pacing issues and stuff. And yeah, objectively, the animation in One Piece is better than it was during like the Dressrosa, but it can be a little silly. Anyway, that's a side tangent. This song, Orikady, I think did a great job.
And soul remembers I'm one but human life. Small steps but I move with tremors.
We're gonna have a lot of A tiers, I think, though, on this list.
Lost my voice, won't lose my temper. Cold truth but they melt in the headlights. One move and I'm up at the neckline. Saw through all the mist and the red eyes. Pull from the brink where the source of our strength lies. Our senses dull when we test time. I've lost myself but my head's fine. We shroud our past but forget why men gotta wait on our hearts we can let die. Anger pouring like steam. I'ma talk what I mean in the clouds.
I struggled, I think, when I was writing this one, though. I think the result was really good, but I did struggle a lot.
Another story to read. See the water it leaks, spilling out. Put the sword through the breeze. Haven't brought to their knees. Hit the ground.
My memories are too, I'm running in place. I'm leaning on the sharpest part of the blade, and I'll never be free.
I like Orikady's chorus. I think it's good. I think this song was good. I have the in the final chorus.
And all the labels that you're using, you can strike a blade that moves without impatience or confusion.
I really enjoyed capturing the idea of Muchiro and his oh gosh. Now my brain's gone blank.
for that hand disguised among the fear that rains down.
The thing is, what I love about doing anime rap and doing like nerdcore music is you really can hone in on the psychology of a character and represent that in music. And I think Mucho is an interesting character. And I feel like, you know, conversely with Itadori or conversely with all of these other anime characters is that it's unique and different, right? When I make songs about myself, I can only ever talk about my experiences or like a concept that I think is interesting to rap about in general, right? Like I could be like overly confident and rap up and do bars, but I can't, you know, unless I make shit up and just like about nothing for no reason. Doing a song from the perspective of someone like Mucho is fun. It's interesting. I like his kind of nihilistic output, his amnesia, his whole thing of like striking with this line about striking without impatience and confusion, which is like a direct quote from the show.
The source of our strength lies. Our senses dull when we test time. I've lost myself, but my head's fine. We shroud our past, but forget why men gotta wait on our hearts we can let die. Anger pouring like steam.
I don't know. I like it. I like it. I think it's A tier. We can't spend so much time on all of these songs. It's a high A though. It's next to Frieren. All right, Avatar. Now, Avatar definitely goes up there as one of the most underrated songs of the year for me, I think, in terms of this song I love. This song I love, and I'm not even gonna I'm not taking any criticism. This song is everything that I like about like a fun, upbeat rap song. It's what I always want to do. I love Avatar. This is similar to Kami and Super Saiyan, where I'm sort of more rapping generally, but I'm referencing things in it. So the thumbnail obviously is me as the avatar, again done by Third.
Yeah, they know my name, my face. They say I raise the stakes. I got them talking even in the walls of bars and say, light up, I'm change the state. I wanna play with fate, just like the Earth Queen. Now I'm gonna take their breath away. I'm hearing their offers, send them back again like I'm soft.
So it has this like punk rock instrumental, but I've combined it with a more like breakbeat drum and bass drum line.
Stronger man like Zuko talking about honor. I go do the moves that you wanna, break it back to changing their posture. We ain't even of the same genre. You are not a part of my roster. They wanna move set around like pebbles. I gon' bend their medals. I flow gonna blow like kettles. Moving blood and vessels, law getting brought down to my level. Move the ground they tremble. I'm so fly like bison, been the greatest from straight out the temples.
I really like her better. I really like the flow there. I think Hala CG does such a great job. Hala CG is an incredible musician and keeps getting better every day. She's leagues above me in terms of like ability now. So it genuinely is an honor to get her on a song. And her like vocals here underneath the vocal line of this post-chorus, whilst the drums are just going, is so fun. I don't know, it's so hype-inducing, and the video is so good. Like Cyber, I haven't worked with him a lot. He was a new editor for this year, and he did such a good job. I like the. I have an OE rhyme scheme, but like being able to have Pai show piece, Kiyoshi. It was so fun to write, and actually writing this came so easily for me as well. It just flowed out of me. I'm so happy to get Korra references in there. Varric and Julie are like my favorite characters in the series. I love them so much. My Ty the lead, my Ty lead going into my and Ty Lee going into a Julie. It's fun. And actually, I like it follows a Rustic chorus sort of structure, but I really like.
Wearing masks, but there's connections in our spirits. I've regretted being timid. I'm not resting till I'm finished. Feel the air within my lungs with every breath that I've been given. It's a legacy, an image, every lesson I exhibit. Cause I keep on making waves so I can tell them that I did it.
This is one of my favorite Rustage bridges because Hallow's vocals in the background's really good with the drums hitting as well. And then Maguire. I know, I love this song. I just love this song, man. I love this song so much. It's definitely one of my favorites of the year. And I think what's great about music is people can have different tastes, right? You can look at this and be like, actually, Ayanokoji is my favorite Russia song of the year. And I get that, right? I totally respect that. And it's definitely a taste thing. But like, this is the sort of song that if I heard this song from somebody else, I would be like, this is one of my favorite songs of all time. I love this shit. And yeah, I use Maguire a lot for backing vocals, but it's like, you got to think about it from like each song as an individual project. And let's say you never listen to any Rustage and you just listen to this song. Then it's not going to bore you that Maguire is here again because he does such a good job. That's why he's there. Like, I don't know. It's like, I want this in the song. I have the guy here just because I wanted that in a song in a previous song. It's not like I'm going to not use it again. So yeah, at the moment, it's up there. Avatar, such a good song. And probably not only one of my favorite songs of the year, but I'd safely say my most underrated song of the year. Because, didn't perform as well as hoped. Now, welcome to the mid-section of the stream where we move. I say mid-section. We're moving into the album. So I will do a sort of, I don't know. We'll start with VIP and then I'll go chronologically on the album. I think that's fair. What do they do here? They actually did. No, fuck it. We'll do chronologically on the album. So, Wanted. I said I wasn't going to do an album for ages, but then I don't know what it was. I think I made a whole bunch of instrumentals that I knew I couldn't make for anything else. Like VIP, I think I did the instrumental for VIP, I did Mid, I did Eating Colors, like I had a whole bunch of these ideas, Dead or Alive, and I was like, you know what, I should put together an album project. And then I had this huge, trip I was going away on where I was doing NPC, I was going to SummerSlam, WWE, I was doing Bicoline where I was LARPing and role-playing, and I was going to be away for like 2 months. And I thought, well, if I'm going to be away for that long and it's impossible for me to get music out, I will work on an album and release that whilst I'm away and have a whole bunch of the videos for that come out. So I had this mid-period, and also it's a really good, I guess, quote-unquote experiment to see how well my audience reacts to it. Obviously, as you can see, it's not going to perform as well as my non-anime stuff, and I get that, I'm not upset about that, because, you subscribe to someone for one thing, and then they give you something else, you're not immediately going to engage with it. I totally get that. There are people here who subscribed to me 5 years ago because they listened to my Kakashi rap and they thought it was cool. It doesn't mean that they're going to want to listen to me rap about having an unhealthy relationship with sugar. That's like unreasonable of me to assume that. But there are people out there who still really enjoy it and really connected with it. And I'm going to take this moment to talk about my thought process behind most of the songs of this album and go through it and rank them, of course, because they're going to be all over this tier list, I think. So we're going to start with Dead or Alive. I'll listen to a bit of it here. So Dead or Alive is not really a song.
Dead or alive. I used to think I had
The reason I made this song, can I affect it? I can't affect the volume. I'm so sorry. At least I can play it. The reason why I made this song was because I wanted the album to be called Wanted and then the first song to be called Dead or Alive. So it was like Wanted, Dead or Alive. Thematically, I thought that was really fun. And then I had an idea of doing, I've always wanted to do, and I guess I have done this before, but I like the idea of opening albums with just a track that's just rapping. No chorus. It's just sort of like an intro, like Stormzy's First Things First, where he just raps for like a minute and a half to start an album. And I thought, wow, I'd like to do that. Dead or Alive is a good idea. And at first it was supposed to be this kind of like generically egotistical, yeah, my haters want me dead or alive, I'm the best, that sort of thing. But what tends to happen is when you start writing and you're trying to write from a perspective of like venting out your frustrations, more stuff comes out than you expect, and it comes out as very much like a diss track against a variety of people. A lot of people listen to this and go like, this is a diss track about this guy, which is like, No, I'm talking like about like 8 or 9 different people in this song, and not exclusively to those 8 or 9 different people, also groups of people, and it's a very interesting to listen to it, and it's quite cathartic to get that out there, and I think it's very fun, and I think music is very good at expressing those thoughts in a way that's like artistic and creative, as opposed to just being like, okay, whatever. And it makes the songs unique, and you could tell, even if you don't agree with what's being said there, or if you don't even fully understand, the song has an emotional place that you can vibe with and respect, and it's different than just sort of a soulless, braggadocious rap. There's nothing wrong with having just a rap that's for fun, because that's literally what VIP is coming up next. But having a song be for more of a aggressive and personal place gives it that edge that makes it different and unique when you listen to it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Plenty of time. Guess that's a lie. Not in the mood to be stepping aside. Said I'm a lie, not burning bridges.
My biggest issue with Dead or Alive, though,
people forgetting the pride. They're in a person who's better than.
It's not letting me. My whole computer's fucked. I don't know why it's not letting me go forwards in the track here. Is that sort of midway? It's another mixing issue. All of these instruments that I have building up this like cowboy theme clash pretty badly with my voice, and sometimes I'm just get unlucky with that, and so partway through the song it does get a little bit messy, makes it hard to listen to for me personally.
Don't have the membership, put in the effort you put into tweeting.
Yeah.
Until making music, and then you'd be
relevant.
I made the room for the elephant because I'm so sick of the.
So I don't know. It's hard. It's like it's definitely either an A or a B because of that. I'm gonna put it in A. I'm gonna put it in A. We're gonna move on to VIP. That's at least a song we can listen to. I love VIP, man. Make way for the VIP. You could write this entire song. That's awesome. This is a similar to Kami, where I just want to make a fun track, and I came up with the hook line where I go VIP.
Make way for the VIP. I walk to the sound of the trumpet.
And I have like 40 takes of me saying VIP in the background there.
Make way for the VIP. Shades on with the crew that I run with.
It's very subtle though.
VIP. Can't talk if you ain't ever done this. Look at the work that I publish. VIP on the badge of the luggage. VIP when they see that they notice. I killed the game with no reason or motive. They know the lines but I read how I wrote it. Late to the drop but I lead like I'm Jokic. Say I'm the best and I'm goated. Man could have flexed and he knows it. Get to the bread like it's hope. It's talk like we're best of bros but it's hard to forget all the tests.
So I sometimes get lost just listening to my music here.
Ghosted, so there's no response.
I know there's Alshift did a really good job with the video. He did a lot of like my non-nerdcore stuff this year, and I think he does an incredible job. He did Sherlock as well, which is great. What's great about making music for myself is with rap music it's one of the few, I guess you could do this every genre, but rap you have more real estate to do it, is you can really represent who you are, and the lyrics are uniquely you. No one else could have written this song, right? Like, not in terms of saying it's so good nobody else could write it, but like the lyrics are very unique to my interest, hobbies, and experiences. And that's just true with every song. When you listen to any rap artist, they can only rap about the things that they are fans of, or they're interested in, or their experiences and stuff. And that's what makes rap such an engaging and great genre when I listen to it, because it feels like this person's talking to me and telling me about their experiences in life. And you hear a rapper and he references the NBA, and it's like you could tell which basketball teams he's into, and you could tell what video games he likes, and you could tell, his life experiences and the way that he thinks is shaped by that. And you get that all through this fun and catchy song. So I reference my own podcast. I reference the Solihull Moors, which is my friend Mark Schwaberdy's football team that he supports, and we went to go see them play in the finals to get them to be promoted to the next league, and they lost, and then they were also in the finals of the FA Trophy, and they lost that as well, and it was very funny. Like, they bottled big shows.
I'm like Banjo, don't need no nuts or bolts. Even Tesla's mad when I up the volts, making hits on the nets like I'm dropping volts. Cause only in league have you gotten gold. Now that I'm at the con, but I don't pay for entry. Don't snort coke, but I'm okay with Pepsi. Good.
That's my favorite line, is "Don't snort coke, but I'm okay with Pepsi." Is very funny.
Problem at the front page of Etsy. They at the
This is such a fun thing. It also follows the same with Kami and Sherlock. It has that thing where the rap hook has like a part 2 to it, where so I have the make way for the VIP, and then I have like a groovy end bit. Eyes on me, I run this town. This whole thing going on. It's very fun.
eyes on me now. B to the I to the P and the O. Eyes on me now. Lights on me, I run this.
I wonder. I'm working on a song right now that has a rap hook, and I wonder if I should do this again, because I currently have it and it feels like it's missing something. Anyway, VIP is an S tier song. It's sort of tied with Kami. I don't know, I kind of prefer listening to it than Kami recently. It's like more fun and upbeat for me. But yeah, that trifecta, Avatar, VIP, Kami, I don't know, I really, really like it. Let's listen to Shogun. So, Tobima Kyo, incredible rapper. My most successful song of all time. I mean, Kakashi is probably still my most viewed, but my most successful song is definitely the Alucard track, because it's done numbers on streaming platforms and stuff. And it's mostly because of Tobima Kyo's incredible rapping on that. And he's genuinely such a nice guy. I have hung out with him multiple times when I visited Japan. He took me to a sushi place once, because he was like, "Hey, do you like sushi?" And I said, "Yeah, because I love sushi." So he then takes me to a sushi place, but it's a sushi place. We go there, and I'm like eating lamb brain sushi, and he's like, "I thought you liked sushi," and I'm like, I'm pretending to enjoy this like horrendous food. No, like, you know, it's not horrendous food, but it's like, it's a bit too much for my Western white palate. I just wasn't expecting it. I was like, "Where's my salmon avocado roll?" But yeah, no, he's absolutely lovely guy, and he's such a great rapper. He's such a great musician. He's such a good like visionary. He wrote a bunch of the songs for the One Piece movie Red as well, which is really, really cool. So shout out him. And at that meal, I was telling him, "Hey, I want to make a song for my album that I want you on, where I'm like Shogun, where it's like I'm talking about Japanese history and historical things, and I want you to be on it and bring your own flair to that." So that's what this whole song's about.
When they bow to the Shogun. When they hang on every word that I've spoken. Then they hang to the Shogun.
It's so funny. He is saying the battle god, but it just doesn't sound like it. It just sounds like he's going Shogun da ba da dow. I'm out of water. What am I doing? William Adams is the actually, you know what? This is more relevant now that the Shogun TV show is out. So one of my favorite books of all time is a book called Shogun, and it's by James Clavell. Came out in the 1970s. It's one of my favorite books of all time. Let me fix my camera, sorry. It's one of my favorite books of all time. The main character is a guy called John Blackthorne, and he is a Englishman who gets shipwrecked on the coast of Japan, and throughout the course of the book, he slowly works his way up Japanese feudal society until he becomes one of the like right-hand man to Ieyasu, Toyotomi Ieyasu, I think his name is. Tokugawa Ieyasu, and he is kind of the witness to Tokugawa's ascension to shogunhood, it's such a good book. I absolutely love it. It's a little bit like Japanese Game of Thrones, and it's a little bit of a source of inspiration for this song as well. But they recently, after I put this song out, or around the same time, coincidentally, as I put this song out, they made a TV show based on that book, which I haven't watched yet, and it's apparently good. It's apparently good. But yeah, shout out that. That's William Adams is the name of the British guy who became a samurai, and I'm a British guy, so.
Samurais moving British, they gon' try to mimic rapping like pop by the beat of spinach. I got ops on me like yokai, unaccountable spirits, and they acting like they had you waited for me to finish. Like leaving my shooters, read them.
Yeah, but it's all very Japanese-based bars and stuff. I'm not gonna go through and explain them all. I have the golden statues like the Kumamoto, because in Kumamoto you have all the golden One Piece statues.
Golden statues like it's Kumamoto.
and which I went to go visit when I went to Japan and took pictures of all of them, which you can see on my Instagram page. And yeah, it's a fun song. It's just, I think comparatively to some of the other songs on the album and other songs I released this year, it's just not, it doesn't have that wow factor. So I think it's also going to be like a low A track. It's honestly, it has that same sort of appeal as something like Ayanokoji or Super Saiyan, where it's fun to listen to. All right. Now we move on to some of the, so the album starts with 3 quite rap focused tracks, and then it transitions into something that's a little bit more, you know what? I might just have this on YouTube. Yeah, that might be easier because then I can skip around. So we transition in the album to a whole bunch of like more softer songs. These are the sort of things that don't really. I've kind of done them with anime tracks, you know, like Itadori and stuff like that, and my Mob Psycho track, but they're often not the kind of genres of music that you will find on my channel, and this is what the albums are good for. Like Overflow had a bunch of this on there. This is what the albums are good for. They are platforms into which I can make songs in this kind of style and rap about things that I guess are important to me or matter to me or affect me in some sort of emotional way. And I like that. And you know, it connects to people who experience very similar stuff. You know, I won't go into too much detail about some of these, but because I feel like a lot of them speak for themselves. But I Still Breathe is great. Kaze, again, he's a great singer. Wanted to have him on this. And going back to my former point of what I love about rap is you can just sort of rap over anything, and it's an instrument as opposed to like a genre. And this is a good example of this because this is kind of like a emo pop vibe, but it has that kind of drum and bass drum line, right? So it's
Blame myself, promise heaven, but you made it
for that boom boom right vibe.
Honestly, it wasn't hate I felt, just dreaded moments I'm afraid to tell. Losing sleep and it drained my health.
This song is about like recovering from negative experiences and negative people in your life, right? It's that kind of like, despite everything, you still breathe. And I really, really like that. It's one of my favorite songs on the album, I think.
I'll feel that pain again, so long as I still breathe. You're just holding up a thought, saying you're not good enough, and you're just breaking all you saw. You know you just gotta keep on running. I haven't given up. I ain't giving up to feel the way. I'm running. I gotta kill these thoughts, and I won't stop until the end.
Yeah, it's just great. I don't know. I really, really like the vibe of the song. So I don't know. I kind of am gonna put it similar to the Itadori track and have it in low S for the moment, because it's definitely a song I really like.
With my cord and I drift away.
It's one of the songs I like. Again, it's like a personal preference thing. Anyway, next we got Someone Else. So this is, again, a similar vibe. So Someone Else is more about my experience with social interactions of social life, where sometimes it feels like when you're in a social setting and you're talking and you're hanging out with people that you're presenting a face that isn't truly the emotions you are, and you're not even doing it intentionally. You almost feel like you're somebody piloting a mech body that's the skin flesh of you. And sometimes when you're by yourself, you get to the point where you go, what, I'm a person called Daniel. This is, you know, like you become hyper aware that you are just a brain that is thinking thoughts, and that like your perspective is that of this thing that has developed over time, and that it's I don't know, it's difficult to explain, and this is very much starting to sound like I'm 14 and this is very deep territory, but it's this sort of disassociation with you as a person between what and the fact that like everybody's perspective of you and the image that they've created in their own heads of you is very different than what your internal thoughts and your intentions are with the way that you move. This is actually another song where I wrote the chorus for. So I wrote this and then Ben Schuler recorded it.
That I've been forgetting, or in my own thinking whilst they yap at them in quick succession.
Again, I could show you the my vocal version of this, but my computer's not working right now,
The
so.
face expression really leave a shit impression. Loading up my arsenal, but people talk with different weapons. Subtleties can shift perceptions, changing with the wind direction. Hover up my body, screaming at me for my lack of indiscretion. Feel I'm not even myself, like a pilot in a mech. Got a myriad of thoughts that keep on fighting in my head. Always seem to think I'm coping, but it's tightening my breath. Feel I'm frozen in the moment, but the time may never end. I'm emotionally a burden when I'm writing this to friends, cause part of me wouldn't listen if they cried to me instead.
It's a sort of hypocritical nature that I feel like is that people are so self-centered, and me included. I'm worried that I'm too self-centered because I'm spending so much time like prophesizing on my own existence and life, and that if somebody else were to do this to me, I'd be like, shut up, you're fine. No, I wouldn't say that outwardly, but like but it's this sort of like, you people are so dismissive, and you have to realize that everybody lives that same kind of experience that you do. And that, I don't know, is that, it's definitely
They said, find it hard to focus, but when focused then I'm brain dead. Must be so frustrating to talk to me and try and make friends when I'm busy thinking about some stupid shit that ain't there. Like my brain to play fair, waking up at night and now I'm sleeping in the AM. Said it wasn't right, but then I never start to take steps. Waste away my life and I'm repeating all the same trends. Wish that I could change them. Maybe I'm a picture I spent my whole life creating and choosing the different colors I'm painting across my face in the line that I have copied and covered with all my tracing. I'm just memories repackaged and all the words that I'm saying. I'm not even motivated in any goals that I'm chasing, aware of my own mortality. Every day that I'm aging, 1 minute I'm living happy and everything is amazing, but the dark is coming quickly. I feel like I'm slowly fading.
I feel like the end of that second verse works really well there, and I like having Ben Schuler's vocals come in to accentuate it. This idea of feeling like my life is defined by the things that I do, and I don't know. It's one of those things where I'm literally spelling out for you the song, and I don't need to repeat myself right now by telling you, but I think it's a good song. I think this is also an A tier, but I like it a lot more than Dead or Alive or Shogun. I'd probably slot it like here. Anyway, let's go to Take Me Back. This song is, I really like the instrumental. So obviously the trifecta of these three songs is this is the sad song part of the album. But I feel like instrumentally they're very different. You've got like this emo pop, drum and bassy vibe. You've got this like slow guitar bass song. And then this one has this more like retro electro synth feel. And it's NP's on this. And NP's great. And I think he has such a soft and lovely voice for this kind of music. And the only sort of songs I had got him on my main channel were the Toji rap where he's trying to be sinister. And I was like, well, his original music's incredible, and a lot of it's very soft and personal. And I felt like I wanted to get him on something that was similar to that on my album. So that's why I got him on here. And I think he does a great job here. This song is entirely about my constant grapples with the fear of death. And I think I'm in a very privileged position. I know the life I have, I really very much enjoy. And that's partially why I fear death so much, because I'm enjoying everything that I'm doing now. I have a job that I love. I have hobbies that I enjoy. I love the people around me. And the idea that one day it's all going to disappear and come to the end, obviously terrifies me. And also our perception of time as I get older and older, it's going to get faster and faster until eventually there's nothingness. And when you're like a kid, right, you're like, when you're 1 year old, that year of your life is 100% of your life. 2 years old, a year of your life is 50% of your life. So your perception of years and time is so different. When you're 50, a year is a 50th of your life. And so it feels like time moves quicker and quicker and quicker and quicker, because you've lived more of it. And a sort of a horrifying revelation a little bit. And it's the lyrics in this are not even that complicated. I feel like with some of the previous songs, especially on this album and later in this album, I'm a little more poetic with the way that I talk about things. Also, this song, I'm very much just saying like this concept freaks me out and I can't stop thinking about it. I can't get it out of my head. I'm walking around trying to enjoy life, but it's like a nagging thing in the back of my head constantly. Is this like shortness of it all, and that really like stresses me out, I guess.
I guess that's normal, I reflect on days and better times. Ignorance is bliss, but even ignorance will not survive. Often the loudest, lost in the
Keep
woods
drinking
when
out of
it's
this, and there's no water in it.
Scared of the peak, always be climbing the mountain. Something nostalgic, nothing I can do about it. Sick of the ticking, cause every second is counted. I don't want it to end, hanging on to my breath. I'm becoming obsessed, counting down in my head. Every moment I spend, every word that I've said, every person I've met, every verse that I pen. I don't want to forget, no, I don't want it to end.
That's so vibe. And then I really like NP's chorus here, because NP's chorus is more about NP's chorus is it's a little bit more hopeful. It's about reminiscing on your childhood and your past and feeling like and finding happiness in those memories. And I like it.
Buried under the ground, keep
and this idea that, like, am I in a position where the younger me is proud of me? And also, when I'm older, will I be in a position where I am now proud of who I became? Or am I wasting my life away worrying about things that I have no control over?
Seized with these doubts, these anxieties still sprout. Vines and brambles choking me out. I can't move or open my mouth. I got ivy holding me down, but still see the hope in the clouds. We're gonna turn to dust, we're still living love. Use the time that they've given us. All the plans that I'm thinking of, I'm gonna take it slow, I'm not in a rush. I don't wanna be missing much, I don't wanna be giving up. Take me back to the start, take me back again when the rhythm's up.
It's a short song, and I feel like having short songs on an album is nice as well, because you don't need to, like, when I release songs on YouTube, it's like these are like big events. Every 2 weeks, a new artist song, big event. It's got to be this big thing that, you know, people will enjoy. But because it's an album that you're getting through, it doesn't matter that this song is shorter, right? It's like 2 minutes 25. That doesn't really matter that much, because you're getting everything you want in it as well. And the song also ends with
Are you ready for the biggest disappointment in your life?
Is with a voice clip of me when I was about 13, 14 years old doing stand-up comedy at a Brony convention. And it's sort of poignant because it's sort of representing me in that age, you know, taking me back to that time where I was just endlessly trying to do as much as I can, as much as possible. But also, I very funnily open up the performance by saying, are you ready for the biggest disappointment of your life? Which, you know, I'm already quite self-deprecating as a child immediately. Like, it's a theme for my entire life. But also, it feels like sometimes the biggest disappointment is the fact that we all die. That's the biggest disappointment of our life, is that no matter how great you live, you're going to die. Anyway, that song is going to be a controversial S for me, because it just means so much to me. Anyway, let's go to Warrior. I did a video for Warrior. Here we go. So Samad Savage is an incredible rapper. I think he's really good at what he does, and I really wanted him on a song. But he's not into anime. He's not into anime. I had him on a cypher one time where he like rapped his Endeavor, and I could tell from his verse that he hadn't watched the show. And I'm not saying that's because his verse was bad, but it's just like his passion doesn't lie in that. But I really wanted him on something, and this album was an opportunity for me to have him on a track. So having him on this, I was really happy to do so, and I think he did a really good job. This song has 2 really good verses, split up by maybe one of my worst choruses I've ever written.
You got beef, you got run the kitchen like I'm in high demand. Get your fighting styles, man's like Richard III. I'm the line hard, not a beat or score. You can't write a bar, you can see the draw. I'm the wild card. AC check when I ran the dice class. Keep my checks and the catch is piling fast.
Eden Colors is at the end of the album. We're going album order.
See my moves on the map and seismograph. See your moves through a magnifying glass. I use force button wise like Zelda. Of course that they fly with Delta. Ain't my war, not a fight with elders. Of course I can find it.
Here's a fun fact about this instrumental. This instrumental is actually like a year old. I made this instrumental as a power instrumental from Chainsaw Man that I wanted with Lex Bratcher, but Lex Bratcher got really busy and couldn't do that song, and then other things came up, and then it fell to the wayside, and now I don't really want to make a power track anymore, and I just repurposed the instrumental for this song.
Shout out, run with a smell. Straight from my force, fuck with the belt. Find my driving force, claiming yourself. Fuck the sight, I saw solely on beat when I cut your life support. I ain't never did it like that. Put it in a different price tag. Do it like I made a life hack. They can never say it's my bad. Look at all the man, another man I might tap.
I love this bit. This is so good.
Like a rubber my back. I've been moving different since my MRI scan. Carry all the people that I got on my back.
And the chorus is fine. It's not. I don't know. I don't like it that much, and that's just a taste thing. And I think it's just a sort of combination of everything. I just don't think the instrumental is that conducive for a catchy chorus. Which is what I was talking about earlier with Alastor and such. Is sometimes you have instrumental that's better for rap, and sometimes you have instrumental that's better for having a catchy chorus, and it just unfortunately wasn't here.
Every single Thursday got a date with a shrink, so if I gotta analyze my own thoughts, why the hell would I give a damn what you think? I had to grind for this, y'all can watch, I know what time it is. I'm not a Christian apologist, but if you cross me, then I defend. Don't need a lot to get up in the ashes, the more inside of men like a Rastafari, and I've been locking and get the cream like Haagen-Dazs, now it's piling. Welcome to the Lions, then I've been wildin'. How'd I win? Got the heart of the guys, and I'm never gonna leave in the face of my problems. I say to my worries, Hakuna Matata.
I just think he does an incredible job on this. I think he does an incredible job, and this is difficult for me because I think it will probably go low A. It's just the hook really kills it for me. The hook kills it for me. That there's a chance it goes B, but I think it goes low A. All right, mid time. And again, if you love the song, I'm so happy because I think the verses are really good, but a hook is really important to me. So mid is a good example of a song that exists to achieve an objective, and that is to be a small song where the objective is to, similar to Dead or Alive, just be a diss track against a bunch of different people. And it's not supposed to be the most catchiest thing, the most cleverest thing, the most listenable thing even, right? It's similar to like how a rap battle is not, the objective isn't to make a super catchy song. The objective is to make a rap battle between two characters or two people, etc. So I understand that some people, when they listen to this, it's like, as a song, it might not be their favorite, and that makes sense, but that's not the intention of the song, if that makes sense.
Looking big with no accolades and no hits. I don't know, you don't give a fuck what you did. That shit mid.
There's a fun vibe to it. It reminds me of the Ayanokoji track a little bit.
Run it back would be better off if you quit. Brother, you're not humble. Ain't no space for the bags you fumble. Don't got buzz, but you're bumping bumble. This kid's so special, no Mr. Tumble. Like, watch how they bitch.
That like Mr. Tumble bar is so crazy. If you know anything about British TV.
Grumble. Ain't got cheers when they're in the rumble. Talk Discord, but I know about mumble. Your main shit is my side hustle. My views are a hate watch. You can't help yourself to a name drop in the drop. I think it's the playoffs. You're the opposite of Renaissance. All your songs have got the same paint job. Remix these with 808s laid on. Thought you might evolve from that place once. Ain't got friends no more you can take from. That shit mid.
Yeah, this song has a lot more. There are some very specific lyrics in this song which are very fun. I don't know. This is very similar to Warrior for me, so I'll just put that there. David Mitchell time. Okay, I love David Mitchell. I don't care what anybody else says. David Mitchell is my song. This is my song. This wasn't for you. This song's not for any of you. This song's for me. This is my song. Nobody else was gonna make this. Nobody else was going to make a song about my hyper-obsession of UK quiz panel shows like Taskmaster and Will I Lie to You. For anybody else's list of Rush's songs, this is probably a B tier. But for me, it's an S tier.
David Mitchell, a different state of symbol. I feel like David Mitchell. I got money in investments and I'm living on a little. Feel like David. I've been putting in the work and now I've made it. Went from never coming first to overrated. Not a guest, they know exactly where my place is.
It's the same bouncy vibe that VIP has, but it's about an interest, which I'm just so happy I was able to just do. And it's similar to, so the reason why it's called David Mitchell is it's similar to like, there are a lot of rap artists or song artists where the title of the track will just be the name of someone, like Billie Eilish, for example, or Charlie Puth when he did Let's Marvin Gaye, or there's a whole bunch of these vibes. Yes, it uses the same piano sample as a contrast track. I didn't know that, but that doesn't matter because the rest of it is different. But I wanted to do that, but I thought it would just be so much fun to use David Mitchell, who's like one of my favorite. If you want to say favorite celebrities, David Mitchell is one of my favorite celebrities. I've read all of his books. I've watched all of his panel shows. I like his TV shows. I like his plays. I like I have an unhealthy parasocial relationship with David Mitchell. He's like my idol. and that's weird, I guess. That's weird. But I wanted to make this song. I don't think he's ever going to see in his life that this weirdo freak who's a huge David Mitchell fan made a song into which... But he's the namesake of the song, right? It's not like the song... It's not like my usual stuff, like if I did a Naruto rap, I'm rapping for the POV of Naruto. I'm not rapping for the POV of David Mitchell. I'm just using him as the namesake for the chorus of the song, and the song in general is just about fun UK panel show stuff. I like
connections and secrets like I'm
Victoria Corin Mitchell, which is his wife, but also the host of one of my favorite quiz shows, Only Connect.
You better take a business card. In my place, I'm living large. Greg is gonna love me because I'm acing any given task.
Greg Davis, who I've met. I met Greg Davis because he used to teach at my school before he became and he did a talk when my brother graduated, and I got to meet him, and he was great.
Like James. What? Cause I'm a genie up in the kitchen.
James A. Caster is also somebody that I am a huge fan of.
See my name and descriptions, I've been reading up on my fictions, expectations great like I'm Dickens, getting bills like Bailey, I'm different. I've been turning face so they listen, rock the new day like I'm kicks and life.
I did have a small WWE button there. I don't know, it just worked.
And I could do it for a fraction of the cost. They be wanting what I have like
it's a carrot in the box. 8 out of 10 cats. Rest in peace, Sean Locke. One of the greats. John Richardson. Again, Hyper Obsession is British daytime panel show comedy. Richard Osman, I've read all of his books. He's great. Listen, if I could meet anybody, it would be David Mitchell. Shout out to David. I think he's great. I love David Mitchell. But he's also, it's one of those things where it's like, he's not the sort of person that would enjoy meeting fans, I don't think. And I respect that. Anyway, David Mitchell's an S for me. Let's just put it up there. Let's go listen to Eating Colors. Now, this is the one song I sing in this year. So I'm not a singer. I'm not very good at singing. And my singing style is very soft, because if I try and put any sort of power into my voice, it just sounds ass. But this is very like Porter Robinson-y, Owl City inspired track. There's a song coming up later that is just straight up a Porter Robinson track, but by Rustage. This is a song about my struggles with eating sugar and like junk food in general, and just like my inability to control that part of my life because I'm too compulsive of a person, and like that like dopamine hit. I like whenever I feel sad, I reward myself with bad food that makes me feel worse. But sometimes when I do something good and successful, I will reward myself with junk food, because it's not, you know, I just eat like a pizza because I'll be like, oh, I deserve this, or you know, and it's I feel like a song that's relatable. And in Schwabity's reaction, he touched on this a little bit as well, where you don't find many songs about this, because it's like it's not big enough of a problem, I feel, for people to feel the need to make music about it, right? It's not like it's a it's too specific of a problem where it's not going to be encaptured in a lot of songs where people just make generically like I'm sad songs, if that makes sense. You spelled my middle name wrong, Squiffy. It is Theodore, but it doesn't have the E at the end. Anyway, this is my song about that. And the reason I wrote this was I was sitting on the train, coming back from whatever I was, and I had a bottle of Fanta and a pack of Haribos. And the Fanta is just like radioactively yellow, and the Haribos are like bright green and red and yellow and etc. And I really thought to myself, I just eat colors. I really be eating colors. That's all I do. And so I was like, that sounds like a really good title for a song. So I wrote the song. And it was, well, this is one of the ones that was really easy for me to write as well, like just because it was just get it off of my chest.
I be eating colors, no, I be eating pain.
Yeah, I eat.
Fun fact about the song, and it's gonna piss you off now that you see it. There's actually a recording error in this song. So my computer sometimes, when it's like working really hard, will make like a noise, and in the background of that last take, you can hear it because the rest of the instrumental cuts out. So take a listen.
Pain.
Yeah.
Eating pain.
Yeah,
It's on when I say paint.
I be eating pain.
yeah.
Is it like a, and it kind of sounds purposeful because it's on beat, and so I didn't re-record it. So there you go. There's a little mistake in there.
I be eating colors, no, I be eating pain.
Yeah. I eat so I wash away the grey. One treat in no longer feeling pain. I see that it causes more than says, but I know I'm a slave to how it tastes. It shows through stress and gaining weight. Lost in the depths.
Again, instrumentally, I just being able to rap over different instrumentals is such a joy.
Ways. I've made a mess of states of pain. Keep dragging on day to day. I don't smoke or drink, I do sweets. Can't help noticing that I'm weak. Keep on opening a can of Coke or drink and then hoping that I don't sleep. When I get the urge, I can't breathe. Just a messenger to my needs. When I'm stressed at work, I go and get desserts and then let it hurt when I...
The rhyme scheme here is really good, right?
When I get the urge, I can't breathe. Just a messenger to my needs. When I'm stressed at work, I go and get desserts and then let it hurt when I eat. I've been trying hard.
I just really like it. I really like that.
More than says, but I know I'm a
I don't know.
It shows through stress and
I think the lyrical prowess in this song is one of the best on the album.
Lost in the depths, takeaways. I've made a mess of states of pain. Keep dragging on
It's this
day to
bit.
day. I don't smoke or drink, I do sweets. Can't help noticing that I'm weak.
Right, it's an O to E to D E. O to E to D E. So, I don't smoke or drink, I do sweets. Can't help noticing that I'm weak. And then it goes.
Can't help noticing that I'm weak. Keep on opening a can of Coke or drink.
Keep on opening a can of Coke or drink. So it's O to E to D D. O to E to D D. O to E to D E.
And then hoping that I don't sleep.
Hoping that I don't sleep. I just think, it's so good, and especially with the Coke, like the way that the sentence runs. Very good. Very good. Well done, Rustage.
I've been trying hard, but then like a charm, I'm left on the ground with a pizza dealer.
And I'm using like lots of metaphorical language, right? I'm like describing it like it's a gambling addiction. I'm describing it like it's, I'm using the colors as a metaphor for it. Like I'm addicted to this because it's paint. The colors light up my gray days and stuff like that. And in the chorus, I say, I be eating colors, I be eating paint. And a lot of people think, well, that sounds a little silly. But the idea is that paint is toxic, right? Paint is, but it's brightly colored. It looks like forbidden food. And the idea is like, yeah, I'm eating these bright colors, but it's hurting me.
Like a creature, I got debuffs on me, no features. I've lost everything to the dealer.
The only issue I think with this song is that maybe the chorus is a little bit too long. So when it repeats so much, it might get a little grating. Like, I don't have a pre-chorus. It is just the same melody chorus, but it is catchy, and I really like it. And then this final chorus, I love.
My days are gray. Look into the bottle to go wash it away. Say I need another, but it's more than I take. I be eating colors, no, I be eating paint. Blocking out the voices when they're saying my name. Add another tally.
Like, you got to have headphones on, but I just feel like the hit of all of the different vocals, because there's a lot of additional vocals on this. Eerie, Lorian, Honora, Maguire, just all adding to create this, like, soundscape that I think is great.
To my list of mistakes, mix it all together and we'll see what I make. I be eating colors, no, I be eating pain. I be eating colors when my days are gray. Look into the bottle to go wash it away. Say I need another, but it's more than I take. I be eating colors, no, I be eating paint. Blocking out the voices when they're saying my name. Add another tally to my list of mistakes. Mix it all together and we'll see what I make. I be eating colors, no, I be eating pain.
I be eating paint.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite songs of the year. I'm sorry. Sorry, gamers. It's up here. It's up here in this category of Rustage originals that are my favorite songs of the year, where it's Avatar, ED Colors, VIP, and Kami. Like, I feel like these 4 songs is what I would show somebody who's, like, doesn't know who I am. And I don't need to know about a specific character to enjoy it. All right, Moonlight time. Moonlight I also made a video for. Emotionally, yeah. This is quite a last-minute idea for a video. So both Moonlight and David Mitchell were not supposed to be on my main channel. I got these videos commissioned to go on my second channel, but then I was away for so much longer than I expected. They had to go on my main channel to sort of fill in the gaps. And I like this idea of just having like an anime music video for this. So Moonlight is so chorus focused. It's production focused. It's very much Porter Robinson inspired. Jonald did the chorus for this. I think I talked about this in a YouTube interview or something, but me and Jonald had a lot of arguments about the chorus of this. Most of it is great. He did all of it perfectly, but what I wanted, so let's go here. I wanted this, which is what he does in the end, where it stops, there's a beat, and then the drop hits, because it makes the drop work. Right? Because that's the genre, that's how it works. But Jonald, every time he recorded the chorus for me, his vocal line went over the drop. So it would like he would sing it and it would just continue. And in my opinion, it made the drop not hit because it was no longer a drop. It was just sort of more like a transition into the drop. It didn't work. And it's also not what I wanted. And I was like, well, Jonald, I thought it would be easy. I was like, Jonald, can you change it? Can you make it so it does blah, blah, blah. And he really fought back on me on it. He really thought, he really wanted it to be like that. So there was a lot of back and forth. But eventually I got my way, and I'm very happy with the result. And I hope Jonald is too, because I think the song is amazing. There was a little bit of rewrites I had to do to make that work, but I think it works really well. And yes, I'm really proud of the production on this. So it's almost entirely Serum synths from top to bottom here. A lot of them programmed by me. I put so much work into the production of this to make it sound right. I studied a lot of this genre of music. And this is a type of genre of music that I can't really do for my anime tracks independently because it would sort of feel weird. And the video really accentuates it. I think it's really good.
We've been living for the limelight. We were never giving out instruction books or guidelines. Carving out.
And I think, my verses in this are a little bit generic-ish. It's like a verse and a bridge, but I really like the way my verse sounds in this.
Imagine the mountains that we climb. I'm grateful for the people that have given me their time. Why change what makes you happy? Don't go miss the things you might like. I remember days where I was sharing chips at Five Guys. All the hours spent in bed just talking over Skype Live, staring at the ceiling with my tears blocking my eyesight.
This sort of I rhyme scheme and having it like flow into the sentence, like talking over Skype, I'm staring at the ceiling with my tears blocking my eyesight, I really like that. Also, yes, I was at the debut of the first ever Five Guys in London. That's what,
You can make an impact on any person you choose to make.
And this is the sort of, this almost feels like the counterfoil to Take Me Back, where this is a song about celebrating the joys of life and connections.
I lie staring at the ceiling with my tears blocking my eye.
And the idea is that, like, the thing that makes life worth living is sharing it with people around you.
Thick enough to handle.
And that, like, I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I like this song a lot. I like the chorus. I like this sort of... And then, like, the change up. And I think, is this another one of the songs that ends with a little Rustage clip? Yeah, it does.
Whatever. Hello, I'm Pipsqueak with the Dumplings. Whatever silly name you want to call me, I don't really care. And this is going to be probably the last vlog I will do, unless
I don't know if that one's still. It might be unlisted on YouTube, or it might be public on YouTube. But it was my first ever vlog on YouTube. I think when I'm about 13 years old, and I make a vlog saying I used to be called Pipsqueak or the Dumplings, and I went, "Hello, I'm Pipsqueak the Dumplings. This is my first ever vlog thing, and it's my introduction as being kind of like an online personality because I've been doing this from a very, very young age." And it's sort of representing that as well. And for all intents and purposes, this is the end of the album. And that was my intention with this track. It's like a big finisher song for the end of the album. Because the song that comes afterwards is just a bonus track. It's like the bonus Isekai D&D track. This is the last song of the album. So it ends with 13-year-old Rustage introducing himself, I guess, to the listener. And I really like it. Moonlight's up there. Let's put it up. Again, let's put it in this fucking mess of songs here. So many original songs up there. Otherworldly. Now, Otherworldly eats at me a little bit because I think Otherworldly is a song that's entirely. Why am I going here? I have a video for it. Here it is. Otherworldly is based on my Isekai Dungeons & Dragons series. If you guys don't know, I run a Isekai-themed Dungeons & Dragons series where all the characters are people from our world, like there'll be old Tony the janitor or like Cody the gym instructor, and they get transported to a fantasy world. It's very fun. You should listen to it. It's what I would recommend if you are unfamiliar with my D&D series. I would recommend listening to Isekai D&D first because it's got the first few episodes are really good entry points to the size of my D&Ds that I do. And I think One Piece D&D has a bit of a rough start because we're all quite new. But I love Isekai D&D, and I had done one of these for One Piece D&D, and I thought it'd be fun to do Otherworldly. I think, though, that I kind of dropped the ball instrumentally and hook-wise here, and I feel bad for Mark, because I think Mark's verse is really good. I think he does a really good job on this track.
Boys, we've been moving with the gold beat. Old Tony, I've been mopping up these streets, and I'm still rocking with the brewers.
I think it's a good song.
Them in holes like there be goblins in the trees, and I could do it like the shot the way I'm buckling their knees. Hey, we about to go for, but there's always something like I'm bone slow. Tailor me like dollars with the suits like we got no law. Wanna push up buttons and there's thunder when we show so.
This is a really fun. I don't know, man. Like.
All around us like how Cadia did it, but us arena about
I think it's a fun song.
Different. I'm feeling otherworldly, ain't do what they told me. Rolling with the gang of the year.
I think the hook's bad. I think both of the verses are good. The verses are great. I think the hook is bad. I'll just go out and say it. I think I dropped the ball with the hook. I just didn't do it right. And I feel bad because Strawberry was really good. He delivered what he wanted. The final bridge going into the hook didn't work the way I wanted it to. It didn't have that big epic feel. The issue is I couldn't make it sea shanty tavern-y fantasy because I already did that for Devil's Luck. So I went for this more like cowboy theme, which I thought worked really well for like this like adventurous song. And I think it sounds great in the verses. I think I fucked up the hook. You know what? I think my personal disappointment with this song is enough to put it in B tier for me. Okay. But as a fan of the series, it's so fun.
Bound to do it bold. Brewing with the boys, we be moving with the gold beat.
Otherworldly, into what they told me. Rolling with the gang at the Yale, running cold.
I'm harsh on it.
Brewing with the boys, we be moving with the gold beat.
Young Cody known for raising the bar. The way I'm shaping the word, you say they made me a barge. You know I'm good with the birds.
It's also really hard for me to watch album reactions and have them go through the entire album, finish with Moonlight, and be like, wow, that's incredible. Now for the last song of the album, and then it's this, and it's like, it just doesn't feel like the last song of the album. I almost feel like this, I should have just not put this on the album. I should have taken, it was supposed to be a fun bonus extra track on the album. I should have just released it separately. Because Devil's Luck was on Sword and Sorcery, and I like having that theme. And the idea was it was a way of promoting the album to, VIP would promote it to my main channel audience, and then Otherworldly would promote it to my second channel audience. But I think it probably should have just been a single, and maybe I should have waited a little bit to make it as well. So, just like a personal bias there. All right, well that's the album done. A lot of S tier stuff there, a lot of A tier, and then the one Otherworldly there. And we're back on Rustage. Music. Ooh, next Hokage. Okay, Blackbeard time. So, Blackbeard is following the structure... Oh, sorry, I started singing. Blackbeard is following the structure that I've done for a lot of villain songs, which is like Doflamingo and Sukuna, where I feel like if they're like a villain that has like a interesting motivation where it feels like they would just talk their shit, I like to bookend it with a chorus and then have a really long verse in the middle. A lot of people were disappointed with this track because they expected something that was more intense. I felt like it was quite intense. I felt like it was quite sinister. The vibe I was going for was like sinister monologue was what I wanted for this. But if people felt like it sounded morose and like sad, which is not what I was the intention. But yeah. Golden EMP does a great job.
I could be king of the world, on top of all of the masses. This feels like my season. You can't kill my dream.
I don't even sleep that well. Hey.
Made a choice when designing the trigger.
Hey.
In the desk like I'm writing a thriller and keeping the tags of my type of vanilla. I did it bigger. Water still rising, they cry me a river. Whole bunch of mugs that could find me the liquor. Birds want the paper, it's time to deliver. The devil made coin, but the type paid the vicar. Right to the winner.
The devil made coin, but the tithe paid the vicar.
Flora, be on the land of the war. Leave the business up, he
Wait. Wait, am I an idiot?
in the sea in the
I'm a fucking moron. I've misremembered this song. There's a chorus in the middle of it.
be the wit, treat him like code.
There's a chorus in the middle of the song. What a stupid moron.
Look at what darkness caused.
If I could be king of the world, I'd bury you under the air.
Bring the captors out, bitch, we're back in town.
Doesn't matter, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything. I had a whole speech about it and everything. What is wrong with me? I'm not editing this. This is just coming out raw.
Bank accounts, I ain't stealing, just pitching hand-me-downs. Now you're pleading like kid, you ran your mouth. Marshall teaching how shit is managed now. Up for singing cause I rip the phantom out. Gang of villains, I'm a different talent scouter. Red light, I've been putting bodies into headlines. Check man.
The verses are longer. I will say this. The verses are longer than I usually do. I think I do 12 bars at this BPM, and I did 2 16-bar verses. I wanted to have a lot of verse.
If I don't even see that
Leave the business up, hedonistic. I'm crossing up, see how Jesus
This is like the Sherlock Holmes thing where I'm doing the pull and release here.
Say I killed them, please be specific. Made a meal for charting, but don't keep statistics. Judge and jury, they could be the witness. Rather kill the patient than go treat the sickness. Like I'll call that.
Rather kill the patient than go treat the sickness.
Allies accuse them freedom victims, and I dunk them under like they tea and biscuits. Rejecting their office, empty their coffers, not in my agenda. Entertain toddlers, devil made monsters left with no conscience. Treat him like Kobe, getting my choppers. There ain't a cap or enter my rock.
That is a Kobe Bryant bar. I try to make it as subtle as possible, but I will tell you that is a bar about Kobe Bryant dying in a helicopter, and I'm so sorry. It just felt like something that Blackbeard would say.
The painting them black, crushing their massive dents, they got hotter. I'm breaking the waters and calling it
There's a couple.
I didn't start the war, hiding the jeans, but don't ask what the mask is for. You're not a passing.
There's a dream bar. Oh my god.
I couldn't ask for more. Look at what darkness caused.
There's some fun lines in here. I think there's.
Enter my roster, painting them black and red in my honor, breaking her back, amending her.
Annoyingly, I used this line in the Avatar track already. There's a couple pockets in this though where I feel like I wasn't 100% on my rap game. Chorus is good. We have Anora doing backing vocals from here as well, which I think really adds to this final chorus. And we have a fun ending. I think it's a good song. It's a good song. Again, I feel like it occupies the same category as Mucho and Frieren and stuff, where I think it's really good, but it just doesn't quite have the spark that puts it into S. All right. Hellfire, I really like. Just off the back, again, another John Old banger. He's really good at doing these like pop songs. This instrumentally is quite similar to the what song is it? I Still Breathe. If you notice. That's that sort of emo pop vibe.
Yeah, one spark and it all burns up. Dark nights till the morning comes. I fought in a war with love, but the ground is stained full of slaughtered sons. Don't care what the corpse has done. Picture frames of tortured songs. Never knew I was broken, but was tossed away when you thought I'd gone. Live my life under false pretenses. We act like
Ilham did a great video with this.
My cries for the fallen wreckage. Tell me what's my point. I was born defective when I saw the message. Your perspective telling me unlawful ethics. All I'm read, giving a remorse, reflecting all you said and looking at the more, forgetting cause of death.
That bit's so good. That bit's so good. That bit's so good. That bit's so good. There's an auto-air rhyme scheme that keeps going. What I really like is when rappers manage to pull off having a complicated and interesting rhyme scheme while still having the meanings of something be profound and saying something and having it sound natural as it goes across.
What's my point? I was born defective when I saw the message. Your perspective telling me unlawful ethics. All I'm read, giving a remorse, reflecting all you said and looking at the more, forgetting cause of death.
Looking at them. It's so good.
All you said and looking at the more.
Well, giving a remorse, reflecting all you said, and looking at the morgue, forgetting cause of death. Like, they're looking at his dead body, forgetting that they were the reason he died. And but the auto death, the death, the auto death, this is a mistake on the editor's part a little bit, but it's also a mistake on my part. I meant to say kindling, but I thought that was called a Kindle. And then the editor very clearly, obviously, went a Kindle, like the reading material thing. And that is true, because that is fucking the only... That is a Kindle. So I can't fault him for that, but it's not my intention.
Never taught me to dwindle. It was always so simple, but meaning changed to the symbols. See the heroes rise and we raise a pistol. Talking lies that they made official, commercialized when you...
And again, this is another good song where it's not bar focused. It's talking about Darby from his perspective and his villainous motivations. And I think I did a really good job here.
The jingle, you don't hear the screams, you don't see the signals.
And yeah, this follows the same Vigilante Deku structure as well. Where I have the
Set my skin alight so I'm no longer scared of getting hurt. Say your prayers and write your verse. I'm so sick of
have this bridge. I quite like this bridge too.
words. Face the flames of hell because you only taught me how to burn.
And this is Eerie and Maguire is in the back here. I forgot about Maguire, but Eerie does this really fun thing here with like a call and response with the final verses.
To cauterize, burning in hellfire. I watch you play the victim, knowing truth is a fiction. Hellfire is surrounding your vision. Now I'm gonna watch you burn, 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 burn. I'm gonna watch you burn, 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 burn.
Maguire's less of a feature here, but he's there. Anyway, this one's an S tier for sure. An S tier. It's up here. I'll put it up here. I love this song. And it's definitely one of the sonically most listenable songs I put out this year. I think it did really well on Spotify because of that. I think it's so good. So good. Valhalla. So this was when me, Connor, and Mark Schwabedy went on a road trip this year. In September, we went on a 2-week road trip where we drove all around the UK, and one of the side quests of that road trip was to write 3 trio tracks, and we did that. We wrote this one, we wrote the Admirals trio track, and we wrote the Sonic Knuckles and Tails trio track. And for this song, I did the chorus. I wrote the singing chorus part, but they obviously sang it. And obviously produced it as well. But I think for the Admirals, the new Admirals, I felt like I did a lot of the work for the hook of the Admirals track in terms of the initial ideas of what it sounds like. I think the Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles one, I didn't do that much in terms of my involvement with the hook. But yeah, we did a weekend where we all released a whole bunch of trio tracks, and it was great. Valhalla. This song, I think my verse is not very good. I think my verse is better on the Admirals track. I think on this track, both Connor and Mark Swabedy have better verses than me. I really struggled.
Wanna see me draw my hammer lie. Treat him like they Yormaganda lie. I'm talking orphan man, it's got the blood of giants, so I walk with anger lie.
And I think one of the issues is I don't like my instrumental here. I'm sorry, guys. Again, this is a personal preference thing, but I struggled so hard because we wanted to make a trio track that we could perform live. So I wanted this like similar to Kami for the hook, and I like the hook. I think the hook is good. I had the drums pick up. I like the hook. I think the hook's great, but I think the instrumental for the verses was supposed to be like, you know, there's this godly, epic vibe. It's kind of slow moving. The drums are coming in, and I don't know. I just don't think it matched my voice very well.
Born with valor, better listen when I talk it matters. I'll be gripping on the iron and the Nordic banner like they're strong gear. Looking how I'm splitting matter, living in Valhalla light. Understand the Norse, know who the best is. Symbol on the building and the necklace. Manly man, but still look good.
I don't know. I think it is pretty good. You know what? I'm gonna put it in A. Where I think the chorus carries it. It's like the opposite of some of these other songs where the verses carry it. But I'm gonna put it in A. Like here. All right, let's go on to Sin. I think Sin's great. This is a synthwave track. Again, on the subject, this is the theme of this year, is it's so fun to rap on lots of different types of instrumentals. And I watched Murder Drones, and I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed Murder Drones a lot more than I enjoyed some of the other stuff that I had to watch this year. It surprised me. But it...
I am not a glitch in this.
I don't know. Again, this is like another song, a lot where it feels like it's fun to write kind of like a motivational manifesto, a manifesto of the motivations of the character, and it's sort of half sin, half the solver, and I'm using a lot of technical terms, and having this kind of synthwave beat, it makes it different and interesting.
You can see the lines of the scripts that we've written. We are not defined by our rifts and division. Morality is a crime that conflicts with the mission. Fixed and an innocent. Cannot punch a program that's with break for ignition. Asimov tried to make us think we should listen. Swallowed in the universe, our memories are nothing but a blink in existence. Prisons we made in bunkers, turn themselves into hunters. Overriding my data, never feeding the hunger. Always bigger than number, bring the spots and the thunder. Just a part of my nature, ripping planets asunder. I'm rebooting the frozen, thought them out of the tundra. I am one of the chosen, see them looking in wonder. All the digits I've spoken, I'm debugging the blunders. Now I'm out in the open, stop them dragging me under.
I like this. I think it's great. And then Key the Weeb does an incredible job on the chorus. She did the vocal effects herself as well to give it that like robot-y sound, which I think was great. And then I think for this one, structurally, I do a thing where I have a text-to-speech thing go over her her voice at the end to make it have a difference in the final chorus. As she does this the post-chorus woes and ad-libs and stuff that I think is really good. I think this song's great. I think this song is great, and it's also great in its simplicity as well. It doesn't have to be anything too big or too bombastic. I think the lyrics are effective. I think the singing is good. I think the production is great. So it's going to go up here in S tier. Prime. I think it's the same BPM, similar as the Alastor song, but it's instrumentally very different. So I saw Transformers 1 in cinemas, and I loved it. It's very good. It was a lot of fun. It's such a great movie, and I would implore you to go see it because it's really good. I saw Sonic 3 the other day, just for reference, and I thought Sonic 3 was a lot of fun, but Transformers 1 is the far better movie. Sonic 3 is like, it's kind of silly, and it's kind of like, it's entertaining, but like anytime it's trying to be serious, it's kind of funny because it's not. It's a little tone deaf in places. But Transformers 1 feels very genuine and it feels very good, and I like it. So that's maybe a controversial opinion. Transformers 1 clears Sonic 3 for kids animated movie of the year. So there you go.
Yeah, turn up the headline brightness. Stay talking gas, no hybrid, no engine revs and silence.
It's funny because I just did a song about a machine character and I'm doing another song about a machine character. So it's a lot of very similar kind of like robot-y bars, but I try to be more car-centric as opposed to computer-centric.
Prime can't be divided. Far cries with the world in crisis. Man's bright in the dark like hybrids.
The reason Connor's on this song as well is that we were on the road trip. We were in a bar, I think in York, and he was drunk. And he said to me, "Hey, please let me sing on another one of your choruses of one of your songs. You don't even have to pay me." And I went, "Deal." And so he's singing on the chorus of this song.
I
like the flow here too.
Mechanics coming sparking like lactic acid. Cybertron, I was born Orion, now an optimist, but the packs don't vanish. Read the verse on my license plate. We don't stop or apply the brakes. Been in place like a microwave, blowing up. Call me Michael Bay. We go.
But here's the thing, right? I did obviously make this song after watching Transformers 1, but it's not just based on Transformers 1 Optimus Prime. It's a general Optimus Prime rap, and I really wanted to get that across. So I do reference the Michael Bay movies and characters that are in the 80s cartoon and stuff as well that are not Transformers 1 specific. There are obviously a lot of the footage is Transformers 1.
Every tune I'm on, I'm a constant threat. Hey, I could put them on ice.
But I think he uses some 80s stuff. I can't remember. Maybe he doesn't. Anyway, I think the song is good. I think chorus is... Nora, let's go. Nora does some really good stuff here with the final chorus as well. I think this song's great. I think this song's great. I think it's very similar to Mucho and Frieren though, where there's nothing about it that makes me passionate enough to put it into S tier, and I think it's that high A category. Speaking of Anora though, we're about to go into maybe probably by the end of it will probably be my second most successful song of the year, but it is quite recent. But Freak is great. I loved Dan. I read the manga. I thought it was great. You know, it does have a little bit of a questionable first episode. You have to get through that. I'm not, you know, but I think it's great. It's so good because it's the perfect blend of shonen and shoujo in a way that it just feels genuine, and I love it. And the song is funny, it's catchy, it's upbeat, and having Anora on it who has just absolutely skyrocketed in terms of like rapping ability. If you listen to some of her earlier stuff and then listen to some of her more recent stuff, she's just incredible. Like, she's gotten so good so quickly at like writing and recording, so go check out her stuff if you haven't. She recently released a Nico Robin track that's very good. But Anora here representing Momo is really good. We have a lot of back and forth in this track. I wrote the hook to be a combination of us doing back and forth stuff. So all of the stuff in the hook is written by me, and then I got her to record parts, the parts that would be her parts. But no, it's a good song. And instrumentally, I was really proud of this because I did a lot of really interesting things, like especially when the you're like,
cause I ain't afraid of no this. They be talking needy, I be telling them to go. Way I move so speedy, you can't catch me with a GoPro. Turbo granny got me to the finish like a photo, yeah. I be getting bigger like a Wonderland, yeah. Got the arms all moving like a lucky cat, yeah.
Having this, obviously the instrumental is inspired by Creepy Nuts a little bit. Having this slightly dissonant chimes playing this funky beat, and then having the drums hit on the drum pattern, but the snares having that kind of funk rhythm where they go like dun 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 dun. I don't know, I really like it. And how she plays off my rhyme scheme going into her parts is really good. So I do the utter an and she starts doing the utter a. This is just the quintessential Dan track. I just think it is. The Go Home is a reference to E.T. Sorry in the chat.
Gonna freak on him.
Kill a BC, how my team got him.
Do it clean, need to speak on him. Gonna freak on him.
And this sort of, I'm gonna freak on him. Kill a BC, how my team got him. This like delivery is all part of why this chorus works so well. Because if I just said, I'm gonna freak on him, it just wouldn't work. But having this bounciness and the feeling of fun on the track is I don't know what ties it all together. It's the quintessential Dan track. I don't think you could make a better Dan track in terms of representing the show than this one, because you've got the two vocalists for the two main characters. You've got the fun, funky vibes. You've got, I don't know. I think it's great. My issue is that a lot of like the Dan tracks will be rapping about the characters in a weird like oh I want to fuck the grandma, and it's like, bro, sure, but like that's not what the Dan's about. It's about like fun supernatural things, and I don't know, I like representing that with this track.
Do it clean, need to speak on him. Fuck it.
So that was originally, the reason why that break is in there was originally when I did it, the demo version, when I sent that over to Anora, I actually messed, like this is like legitimate, like I was doing the Dan, and I like fucked it up, and I went, fuck. But then I ended up keeping it because I think it worked really well. I also, the reason why the Dan bit here works is because I'm saying it like it's a One Piece laugh. As opposed to just saying dan da dan da dan da and go dan da dan da dan da dan da dan da. Like that's what a fucking One Piece character would say, like if that was his laugh, right? You know what I mean?
You don't wanna deal with the yokai.
Look at how we deal with a freak.
Do it how we do it on our own time.
Look at how we deal with a freak. Yeah.
And I love that back and forth, and then the song. You don't wanna deal with a yokai. Look at how we do with a freak, it's so good. It's so good. I love this S-tier song. Definitely one of the better of the year. I'm gonna put it up here. I love it. It's so good. All right, 2 more songs remaining. Oh my god, it's gonna be a 3-hour video that I'm gonna have to upload onto YouTube, and it's probably gonna be low quality because of my computer breaking down. Alexander the Great.
On me, on my, ain't keeping line.
I love this song. I'm so happy. This won the poll this year for when I did a poll and you guys voted on Alexander the Great winning. And it took me a little while to get it out. But I think this is really fun. I like being able to talk about history. There is a reaction. I think X-Phasey has a reaction on his channel where he's got me on. And in that reaction, I really break down a lot of these bars if you want to listen to that to hear the breakdown of the bars. But I don't know. It's good. And Maguire does a good job. And the thing is, I actually only had one Maguire main feature this year, which was Alastor. Like he's in a lot of backgrounds of stuff, but he wasn't actually on a lot of like the main choruses, and I don't know, I just felt like he worked it.
People fear the name. On me, on my, way too much on my plate, okay. They keep in line. Hold it too strong, too great.
They say too great. Bring the family to us. Great food chain.
This is a good song.
I got the statues and Valhalla.
I think it's a good song. There's some mixing issues, I think, especially in that section, and
I'm great. When I say I'm not, but they act like haters.
but I do think that this is it's going to occupy this same region of the high A's where it's like there's nothing about it that makes me go, this is great. It's just good. It's very good. It's very good. It's like that extra wow factor. All right, Jinx. Oh gosh, Jinx. Jinx track is so... Man, this song stressed me out when I was making it. For a variety of different reasons, it stressed me out. I, firstly, could not put together an appropriate instrumental. It took me ages to get that together. Secondly, writing the verses was so hard because going into making this song, I had just finished watching Arcane, which is incredible, by the way. I love both seasons. I think it's very, very good. But the music in Arcane is insane. And writing an Arcane theme song implicitly is a scary thing to do because people who are watching it are going to go in with the expectations that it's like the songs from Arcane, which are incredible. And there's no way that I could ever reach that height of quality. So I'm already stressed about that. Writing I was worried that the instrumental wasn't... I wanted to have this like where it goes into more like a... like a little bit like the rap part of KDA... where it's just like a bass and drums for the rap parts and then it builds into this rock vibe. I felt like that worked really well for the theme of Jinx. But whenever I was rapping lyrics, I just couldn't get anything that sounded... I did so many rewrites because I was doing these lyrics that were too fast, that just were melding into each other. So I had to do a whole bunch of rewrites to slow things down and change the flows of stuff. There was a lot of... with Eerie. So Eerie... incredible work. I think her vocals fit this perfectly. When she sent her first like demo of it, where I sent her the pre-chorus and the chorus, I wasn't a fan of what she did for the pre-chorus, and I felt like the chorus, she did two kind of distinct bits for the chorus where I felt like it lost its catchiness. So I ended up making the pre-chorus, which is this stand up, put your hands up, which I'm really happy because that's my favorite part of the song now. And then told her you should honestly just loop what you did for the first bit into the second bit of the chorus so we can have that catchiness. And she did that, perfect. She did it to my specifications. He sent it over and it was good. But then I was listening to it and I was like, oh, what? Actually, now this is just too boring. So now I was like, you know what? Vary it up and have little changes. And that didn't work either. And I was like, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to leave spaces so that I can add rap in there. And then there was a part where her syllables didn't match up with something that I wanted in my head correctly, which genuinely, this is all entirely my fault because I'm being so pernickety with the chorus, and I'm just like, I feel so bad for her because I'm really being like, no, I changed my mind. Can you do this instead? Can you make it like this? And it's this like endless back and forth, and she's like so busy with a bunch of other stuff, and I feel like I was stressing her out. But then eventually we got to a place that I really liked. I very much liked, but I think, and then I want to do something for the end chorus, so I got a bunch of extra vocals for that, and I was mixing that together, and that worked. And I put it all out, and I was like, you know what? This song has stressed me out so much. The verses, when I started recording it, I felt like my voice didn't work either. The mixing it was a headache because like there were so many issues with the low end, and I was like playing it over my speakers. I was like, this sounds shit. And I put it all together, and I put it up, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it. It's done. I'm just going to put it out. And when I do my end of the tier list, it'll probably go in B tier. And then something happened. Then a week later, like after it was out, which is like now, I guess, and I like watch it with the video, and I listen to it again, and I'm like, wait a second, this is really good. This is really good. I love how, like, from an unbiased perspective now, when I'm thinking, I love how the verses have this like low-key start.
Phone-based girl on the streets is fun when it's bad news. Thank you. They wanna hate on the man but loves the statues. Can do. Talk about cause and effect, but the blood isn't brand new. Don't work 9 to 5s, I put 9 to 5s, put a price of life and then fuck with the values. I've been looking at the carnivores, they got love and
and then like the guitar comes in and the drums come in, like it builds really well.
I've been here from the jump, rising out of the dump. We gon' live in colors, we're making it to the lights.
I originally hated these lyrics because this lyrics here were a rewrite because the original lyrics were like this really fast bit where it was like and it just was all messy. So it felt like a compromise, these lyrics, but it ended up working really well. And I got Eerie to do backing vocals for this as well, and I had to make her re-record a bunch of those backing vocals. This is another thing because I felt like her backing vocals were too soft in areas or they didn't work quite right, and we were doing like, it was just it was all over the place. And again, totally on me, totally my fault, probably stressed her out, and I, public apology to Eerie and all that. But in the end, it worked really well. Dice though. And then the transition into the pre-chorus.
Keep on screaming when we stand, we gon' stand, make a season, we gon' act, come on act, in the fire like a hand, load another burden, that's a breathing so
And then that goes into this. It's really good. And actually, the production hit. I had the drums. I fatted them up. I had the cymbals. Everything worked out. And I really like the second verse is really good too with this bit.
We gon' blow to pieces. They say violence needless. They gon' vie for power, silence breeds and violent creatures. I've heard fighting teaches lessons more than mindless reading. Hiding secrets, madness is a symptom of our lives repeating.
I love that bit. I love that bit. The symptoms of our lives. It's just, I feel like I'm actually saying something, and it builds up. And then in the bridge section, I have these big like boom claps that work so well because it adds to this like rebellious Jinx nature.
Wash away the blood, they hear our voices, so we gotta put our hands up, put your hands up, keep on screaming when we stand.
So I do the typical thing of bringing the pre-chorus back, but instead of having a softer version, it's the same energy, but it's more like a everybody clap your hands kind of vibe, and I really like it. And I think Eerie's voice in the pre-chorus there, where she does the make your scene so you got, is very good as well. It's really, really good. And then we have Kaze, Maguire, and Asta all doing incredible work here at the end. Asterisk is just good. And I just think that works so well. And so in the end, it becomes an S-tier track. It becomes an S-tier track. So there you go. That's a lessoner for you. There we go. That's ranked. I'm sure things might move around at some point, but woo! 2024. My songs. I think I did a lot this year in terms of experimenting instrumentally and topic-wise. And I'm glad people are still sticking around and listening to the stuff that I make. This year was really good for me on Spotify, which I think is interesting. This is sort of the first year where most of my Spotify releases get about the same amount of streams or more streams than they do on YouTube, which is great because Spotify is a lot better for musicians in terms of revenue than YouTube. So it helps support me and helps me continue making this. So I appreciate that a lot. So thank you guys for supporting me everywhere. Overall, I think really good, really fun year. 2025 might be a little bit difficult for me. I'm sort of feeling mentally a little bit musically burnt out, but I'm sure it will come back. I have a Shadow the Hedgehog song that's going to come out next week, and that'll be the first song of 2025. And that's going to be something very different as well, and I think you guys will like it. And there'll be a Victor track as well, which both Shadow and Victor are going to be very different. And then I don't know what I'm doing after that. I feel like will we see rap back on the thumbnails? Well, what you can notice is that they're on. So I'm doing the experiment thing. So when I release them now, YouTube lets you put a bunch of thumbnails. Do the experiment compare. So I do one without the rap and one with, and whatever one works better. YouTube will just pick that one. So, we'll do probably another poll stream and everything. But thank you guys so much for being here for this stream. I don't know how I'm going to end the stream because it actually won't let me press the stop streaming button. So this might be a situation where I have to... Oh my god, I can't even access my task manager. Holy shit. There's no way. What's going on? Alright, so the end of this is going to be me... Huh? It's just... So the issue I'm having is I can't click on, like, Windows assets, I guess. Chrome works. Weirdly, but like I can't click on anything on my toolbar. When I look at OBS, I can't click on any of the buttons. I guess I could unplug my computer. That doesn't feel right. When I load up Task Manager, I can't click on any of the assets in Task Manager. If I do Control-Alt-Delete and do and like lock my computer and then come back in again. Oh, that fixed everything! Everything's fixed! Yeah! I did it! Yeah! Okay, alright, okay. What was it that I wanted to show you guys earlier? My version of a hook? I can't even remember what it was. It was my version of Adam. Hold up. Yeah! I can't believe that worked! Okay, where the fuck is Adam? Is it... Oh gosh. God, when did I make Adam? Here he goes. Here's the chorus for Adam, but my reference.
I've been here since the beginning of this fucking earth. See the panic in the city, I gonna make them hurt. There ain't no better in hell.
It's bad, because obviously it's just a reference. This was never meant to see the light of day. Obviously bad. Listen, I'm showing this to you in full confidence that you know it's gonna be bad. So do not judge it. Of course it's rough. It's just, I will stop showing you these fun little tidbits of Rush's music thingies if you're gonna be so mean to me. Because I'm just going, but yeah, it's just as a reference for Jonathan Young to be like, this is how it's sort of meant to go. And then that's why, obviously, Jonathan Young does an incredible thingy with that. So, good for him. I could show you my version of someone else. I think that's the song. No, that's Ben Schuler. Because for that, I think I sound better in that one. Here we go.
When you look back at a man who's been living the life that you thought you had yourself, but you see in your hands are the veins and the lines telling stories you can't tell. And I know that I think every thought, every feeling that I felt, but the face that I've etched in my skin is not me, someone else.
That's what I said for Ben Schuler for reference with that song. I can't. Anytime I try to put any sort of aggression into something, it doesn't work. It has to be soft. And that way I can hit the notes, and that's the way I can do it. But,
that I've etched in my feel like someone else. I feel like someone else. I feel like someone else.
There you go. You get the vibe. You get the vibe. Anyway, that's a fun little. Anyone who stuck around to the end of this mess. I hope you guys enjoy my songs going into 2024. And actually, in tradition, don't I show off a little bit of a song going into 2025 at the end of these? Here's the Shadow Hedgehog hook.
Yeah, hey. Find me in the shadows, I can light 'em up. Send them to the gallows in a tunnel run. Got me needing ammo and it's panning up. Red, that's the price of love.
Yeah, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. I showed Kami last year, didn't I? All right, there you go. No, this is no features. I have to finish it today because I'm going away for New Year's. So it's got to be finished today. And there you go. I hope you guys enjoy it. It's not going to be that complicated of a song. It's going to be quite just like a fun little guy. All right. Goodbye, guys. Thank you for coming to this episode of yearly Rusted Rankings, and I hope you guys liked it. I rambled for 3 hours, and I hope that isn't terrible. Thank you.